Alright, so everyone can hear us, but they don't see us yet. If anyone's
Okay,
there.
I'm muting the screen again, or the stream again, so that I don't listen
Oh,
to both.
yeah, good call. Alright, hold on. Let me get a sip of tea.
Yeah,
There's no
I'm
hype
not
in
approaching
chat
it with
yet,
you.
so I don't know if we should come on yet. There's like
Um,
no hype yet. Nothing's happening.
we can give it a second.
Hmm.
Sometimes you just gotta start. 1 second, let me get like a little. I want to get like a little drink. I need to recharge my
Oh,
water.
there's you. Alright, good. Go get a drink. Alright. Maybe I'll play a song. Messages. So, alright, I'm gonna put this on. Oh, here we
Yeah,
are.
people come in then. Oh,
I'm here with
started just
Brendan.
because I was.
Oh, I didn't warn you. I'm sorry. Are you ready, Brendan?
I know. Yeah, I guess I am now.
I'm so
Hey
sorry.
everyone.
You're here. We're here. Wait, do you get so how was that episode for you? What did you think? Did you like it? Did you like how I put it all together? And did you like how you were
Yeah,
presented?
I liked it. If I didn't, then it's my fault, I guess, right?
I mean, I had a lot of control in the editing process, though.
I don't think you edited out that much.
No, I
You
didn't.
kept most of it in.
I did.
Yeah,
Well, I don't know if you
yeah.
were expecting that.
I wasn't sure what to expect. It was interesting, like experiencing like how rambly I am from the outside a little bit. I think I was extra rambly that day though. Like you were really just vibing.
Yeah,
It's yeah.
that's what I just, that's just the way I am in everyday life, honestly. Like, if somebody talks to me, even if they're like, okay, talking with you is awesome. Like, we have a really good flow. But, like, if, like, for example, like, somebody just came up to me and started talking to me and I had no idea what they were saying, I would still stand there and be like, okay, can you, like, clarify that? Like, I would, like, be really
Hmm.
patient with them and just
Hmm.
talk. Um,
Yeah, yeah. Like yeah, just do the little responses like when I stole your podcast for a second,
mm-hmm.
it's just like, what do you think, chat? Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was
Mm-hmm.
great. Yeah.
Oh, that's so interesting. Oh yeah, tell me more.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, you were just talking to no one at that point, so
Yeah.
it's like, I mean, you could do the same thing. So, all
There's
right.
a there's another YouTuber that I was trying to channel while I was doing that actually.
Oh,
Yeah, I don't know. People are funny the way they handle that stuff.
uh-huh. I know, it's funny to watch. I like, it's like you said to me while you were watching, like you learned some things about yourself watching yourself. I felt the exact same way about myself when I was like I had to watch it like hundreds of times through like editing. So, but I felt like I
Hmm.
learned a lot about myself just like watching my mannerisms and my like the way I move and stuff. I'm like, wow, I'm actually pretty like I'm like not bad at this like whole I don't know whatever this thing is that I'm doing. I'm not bad at this
Yeah.
Kim thing I'm doing here. So, all right. So I want to like do it right. So I'm gonna light the podcast candle for this.
It's just the stream. Is it the stream candle now though?
It's the
Is it the
podcast
stream
candle
candle or the
because
podcast candle?
this stream is in
It's
honor
about the
of the
podcast.
yeah the beginning of the podcast. So
Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
this is it. Well, yeah.
Wow, pyro.
I know that was pretty scary. All right. Ah, well, thanks for doing that episode with me. And like, I don't know if everyone realizes, but that was only part one. We talked for like 5 hours, at least 5 hours, maybe even more. And like, so I ended up splitting that into two episodes. So I don't know if people watching realized, but there is a whole other half of the conversation that you can still watch on YouTube.
I think the second half is better.
I
When I
think
was
so
rambling about civil
too.
engineering and everything, you could have cut like a lot more. So I don't if I guess it was generous of you to leave most of that in, but I don't know
Mm.
if you really have to leave it
I mean, I thought I really thought it was all important stuff, and like for like the teaser, I'm gonna chop it up a lot, but like for the whole
in.
episode, I want it to be like as raw and organic as possible
Okay.
in every case.
Yeah, I don't
So
know. I might go listen to it again.
yeah.
Today I kind of feel like, why did you leave that stuff in? Like, was that really interesting? But I don't know. I'm kind of sleepy today. Like the last 2 or 3 days,
Mm.
I've been kind of tired. So I want to listen to it again when I got like a little more energy and see if I'm just like in the mood for like less input today or something.
Mhm. Yeah. So I'm gonna move this over a little bit. So yeah, part two, and then I have 7 more other episodes lined up to come out on a weekly basis. So next episode is gonna be, and your both of your episodes I released today. I don't know if I think I told
Yeah,
you
I
that.
saw the other half go up on YouTube a few
Yeah,
minutes ago.
yeah. I think I put it up. Yeah, I set it up to go up like right at the end of the first one. So,
Hmm.
then next week's episode is going to be with this woman. Her name's Olivia Companion, and she is a, I don't know what to call her. She's a teacher of caregivers of people dealing with dementia. So she trains
Okay,
caregivers to um, be good dealing with people with dementia. So
that's cool.
I think it's gonna. I originally I was so excited listening over to her conversation, my conversation with her, that I was telling her, I'm like, I think this is gonna be the first one. Like I really want to put your episode out there. Like I think it's important for people to see. So it's
Hmm.
gonna be the next one, the second one,
Okay, that'll be
because
on the 8th.
yes, yeah,
Is it gonna
next
come out
Monday.
Mondays?
Yeah, I think I'm gonna do
Okay.
Mondays just because it works easier for me. I don't really know if like, because like if you, I think if you do like consistent scheduled episodes, it's good for the algorithm, which I don't really know a whole lot of about that, but um,
I don't know anything about that.
yeah. So I don't know if like one day of the week is better than another day of the week, but I'm just doing Mondays to start. We'll see how it goes. I can always change it later, I guess. Yeah, it's whatever.
Yep.
Either way, I think it's gonna work out fine. So, let's get into
Yeah.
this. What we want to talk about today here on the stream. Um, so I made a little list of stuff that we were gonna talk about.
Okay, yeah,
Um,
I'm gonna actually let you follow your list this time.
oh, what? Do you have a list too? Did you make
No,
it?
no, no. I just feel like last time we had such like an open-ended, just like flowy conversation.
Oh
There
yeah.
were like 3 or 4 times when you're like, well, so I've got my list, and then I kept talking. So it was fun, but I'm just gonna let you do the list this time, even though I interrupted you again.
Okay. All right. I feel like this I could get more structured. It's just like a little. Just do like a little short
Hmm.
like catch up follow up stream. So I, and this is also I lit the candle. Like I really want to dedicate this to like opening up the series. So one thing I want to do is I want to share with you and the viewers um, way back in like January, I think, when I was talking about doing a podcast. I told my brother about it, and he decided that he was going to. He was he wanted to be very supportive of it, and um, the way he showed his support was he went to this AI generator website, and he put an input into like have this AI chat with RTX. He had it write a sweet and inspirational and encouraging speech to Kim for her to become the best podcaster ever. So I'm gonna read this letter. So this was like a really this thank you, Doug. This like really made me feel so good and supported and like just right in doing this. And I really appreciated it. So I want to share this letter.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Dear Kim, I want to take a moment to acknowledge and appreciate your passion for podcasting. It's clear that you have a natural talent for connecting with people and sharing your ideas in a way that resonates with your audience. As you continue to grow and develop your podcast, I encourage you to stay true to your values and your voice. Don't be afraid to be authentic and vulnerable, to share your struggles and your triumphs, and to be yourself. Your audience will appreciate the real you, and they will be more likely to connect with you on a deeper level. Remember that success is not just about the numbers, it's about the impact you have on the lives of your listeners. So keep striving to create content that is meaningful, valuable, and inspiring. Keep learning and growing, and don't be afraid to take risks and try new things. I believe in you, Kim. I believe that you have the potential to be the best podcaster ever. Keep pushing yourself, keep working hard, and never lose sight of your dreams. You got this. With love and support, your name. Because he forgot to put his name in the bracket. So that's his letter. Thank you, Doug. It's like really, really sweet.
Nice. Yeah,
So
that's a
nice,
nice
right?
letter.
Yeah. All right. And I want to thank someone else because um, I haven't really talked about this anywhere, but I don't know if you noticed or like the viewers noticed the song in the video or in the podcast video. So there's a song that
I noticed it. I mean, you told me about it.
yeah. So this song is also generated with AI. And I want to thank my friend Jebs for this song. And if you want, I'll play the song, or you can play it at the end if beautiful. It's called Kimomu's Journey, and it's about me and Timmy. I forget what the exact prompt was that that the song came from, but it ends up being like such a beautiful song, and it really resonated for me. And like when I first heard it, I listened to it over and over and over again, and I like cried, and I was like, this is so like on point for me. And Timmy, yeah. So, all right, I'm just gonna play it and let you guys hear the whole song. So this is like my podcast theme song now. Actually, I don't know if you'll hear it. I'll play it. You let me know if you can hear
All right, let's do it. I mean,
it.
I
Let's
can
do
hear
the
it.
mic though.
Oh,
Turn it down. Hold on. Okay, I'm gonna mute my mic and then you let me know if you still hear it.
okay. Yeah, yeah, I did. It just took a second.
She walks through dreams at night, reflections glow in pale moonlight. Timmy person leads the way, guided by the spirit's ring. Whispers float on autumn breeze, mystic words among the trees. Timmy nudges stars above, kimomu falls light of love. Oh, kimomu, timeless flight, spirit guides through darkest night. Timmy by your side, so true in a world
it makes me think of the that one emote in your Discord. It looks like it's like a tier 2 emote here. The Timmy fly, or the the one where it looks like he's leaping, the hype one.
Oh, the hype one, yeah. Oh, yep, yeah, cause he's dancing in the street.
Yeah.
I love it though. Hi, Switches. Switches is Jebs, right? Yeah, Jebs made that song. So awesome. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Is your shout out command still working? You should shout out then.
I don't know. Oh yeah, probably not because. But isn't there a thing you can do in like actually in as a mod? I don't know. I don't Twitch anymore. I don't do it.
Yeah, because you don't Twitch anymore, I don't mod anymore, so
Yeah. All
they
right.
changed it. There used to be all the pop-ups if you just like hovered over someone's name.
Yeah. Come on, Twitch. Get
It was
like
quick.
make it easier. Help. Oh, I wonder if I can just do it. Yeah, is that right here? No. Oh, get out of my way. No. Yes, he said yes. Oh, I'm gonna follow him. And I don't think anyone else is here anyway, so. But yeah, follow the switches. Okay, so Brendan, we're talking about a
Okay.
couple things to talk
Mm-hmm.
about. Um, so I, I don't know if, oh, hold on, Jim said something. First part was good, Brendan. Your ability to discern between the conceptual and non-conceptual is great. Ooh. You want to say something to that?
Yeah, now I just need to ramble a little bit less. But thanks.
All right. So, so yeah, I don't know. Where do you want to start on? We were talking about a couple different things on the podcast episode. So, like, did you want
Okay, it was
to?
fine. I didn't ramble too much. I think
Uh,
our I think part two is going to be a little bit more focused. We got a little
yeah,
bit
I
more
think so.
focused, I
Yeah,
think.
we got more
Um,
comfortable and like more, yeah, more focused, like you said.
I- I'm curious to hear what people think of the first one, because if when there's like a lot of info coming at you, if it's interesting or you're kind of on like the same wavelength, um, when I'm the listener, then it's like, okay, yeah, this is interesting. It's like, yeah, is it a little bit twisty turny? Sure, but I'm enjoying it. But if I'm like not like 90% on the same wavelength, then it's like, oh man, like this person's taking 30 whole seconds to say something. I'm so bored. So it can really swing the one direction or another for me. So I'm
Mhm.
interested to hear if people find it interesting or not.
Mhm. Yeah. Well, I did, and yeah, we'll see the comments. I hope like eventually we'll get like a lot of feedback on that.
We were the ones having the conversation, Kim. Of course, like we were definitely on the same wavelength. So that's what I mean. It's I'm interested to see how many people are just like on the same wavelength. Like, oh yeah, that was fun. I got it.
Fine. Yeah, that's true. Yes, I think there will be. We'll see. Well,
Yeah,
when I blow up on YouTube, we'll
yeah.
see. um, so yeah, the other things we were talking about were comparing our star charts, and then I was talking with you a little bit about like my journaling over the past couple of days because I had a couple of like really uh,
Oh yeah, that's
expansive
right.
experiences where I was journaling and getting a lot of insights. So that was really cool, and that was like since filming our episode. So, do you have a
Okay, so you wanna I wanna hear about the journaling stuff first. Are those the two things on our radar for today?
Yeah, 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 and also No, I have a surprise for the end. But yeah, those two things, and then a surprise at
Okay.
the end. So all right, let me pull up my journal. Actually, I had something in a different journal, but I think I have a picture on my phone, so I'll just pull that up. I'm nervous to share. Yeah, okay, so I got high again the other day. So that's usually when
What
I
a
get
druggie.
that's usually when I get in a good spot to a good place to like reflect. I mean, no, I'm not a druggie. I'm like I'm reflective, okay? I'm very reflective. Yeah. I don't know what else to say. Okay. So, I don't know if I don't think I told you any of this cuz I wanted you to react to it.
Yeah,
Uh
introspective.
mhm. All right, so this is the first thing I wrote about. Do I cling desperately to people? Chronic people pleasing out of fear of abandonment. I just saw how this is so deep subconscious and happens with literally anyone, not necessarily someone I even care about keeping around or not. It's more like a deeply rooted fear of missing what I'm meant to experience. And this is really a lack of faith in my path and my support from spirit. It makes me feel guilty realizing my disappointing lack of faith, but that's more of the same lack of faith in the unconditional love and forgiveness and understanding of divine consciousness. So that was my first thing.
Mm.
It's deep,
That's
huh?
deep. That's pretty. Yeah.
I love
I'm
like
kind of curious. So,
getting
yeah,
into a
no, go
space
ahead.
like that. I just love getting into a space where I can like see those shadows.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So do you feel like that manifests like in one part of your life more than other parts, or like in some parts and not others at all?
Mm, yeah, I don't know if I could pinpoint that, but
Like are you more of a people pleaser when you're out and about, but like if you're at home, then it's like, no, I can kind of say I don't want to do that when I'm at home or
well,
in my own space.
so I'm not sure because like as I kind of said here when I observed it, I noticed how deeply subconscious it was. Like it was just like
Yeah.
really little behaviors that I wouldn't normally pick up on.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
You said you had kind of like this like quantum shift or like quantum healing moments. Do you want to talk more about that? I was really curious
yeah.
about that. So based on what you wrote, is that like the conclusion after that, or is that
So
the
that was kind
observation
of
that
like
like kicks you
moving
off?
toward it. So I have more that I
Okay.
journaled. All right, I'll read
Oh,
more.
okay, yeah, yeah. That was just the first part. Yeah, keep going, keep going.
Okay, okay. Okay, this is what I wrote. I just received another quantum healing. It's all really just for me and that's good enough. Even that is lovable. These aren't things to know to have a certain level of consciousness or any kind of egoic process progress points. These are things to bring us comfort and renewed faith and strength and enthusiasm to continue onward and to expand to my heart's content at any rate I prefer, and empowerment too. Yeah, and then I said I have to really acknowledge that huge energetic trauma release I just experienced. I should be feeling really a lot better after my next sleep and I want to remember and attribute it to this. So like now that I'm reading this, I don't know if I like wrote down exactly what the healing was, but
Mm-mm.
I had this really emotional moment where this release where I was just like sobbing, crying. and I really had like a big release, like an energetic release. I feel like, and like I I I don't know if don't know if I can still like pinpoint what that was. Um, but then I had another really good moment, so I'll keep reading. Um, that was also connected to like what I just read you. Um,
Hmm.
yeah, my purpose. So I realized my purpose. My purpose is to deliver comfort, renewed faith, strength, and enthusiasm to continue onward. It's so beautiful. There's truly, truthfully, and fully nothing more beautiful to me. There's nothing I care more about. And that's my consistent vibe, which in the second
Okay.
part of our episode you mentioned.
Yeah.
Do you agree
Yeah.
with that? Or, like, how do you see that?
I agree with that. I feel like you're developing into that last part, though.
Yeah.
No, it was kind of always there, but I feel like it wasn't always like the number one thing you were chasing. It was just like, we'll do this or that thing on stream together, and there, like, along with that, there will be company vibes rather than it's like the focus, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
So it's interesting that it's kind of coming into like being the focus, and what everything you're doing can just be like secondary.
Yeah. 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 Now to find out what it's really like to share my true authentic self with the world, living my full intended purpose.
Hmm. Okay, I have a question for you about that.
All
So
right.
how has it felt like the last several like months to a year, or like last year or two, like getting closer? Because I feel like you've just been making like really steady progress, like along this curve, like lining up with what you just said. It's
Yeah.
not just like a you took like a 180-degree turn. It's like, no, I should be going this way. I feel like it's been like a little, like a slow, gradual curve
Yeah.
lining up to where you are right now.
Yeah.
Um, so like, how did your routine change? Like, because I think we talked about this in the first episode, that you left your big girl job, right? Like 3 or 4 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
So like, what kind of schedule have you settled on? Like, what is life like right now? What's your
Mm.
rhythm right now?
My rhythm. So
Yeah, what's your daily routine, or like what's your weekly routine, I guess, is actually what I want to know. Like, how did you like what did you settle into? What do you do these days?
well, there are. I think routine is very important, and um, I don't know if I could say that I have settled completely into a routine. There's a lot
What
of
things do you focus on most of the time? Because I get it,
well,
you're right.
there are a lot of different things that I try to make like regular routine for me, and I always try to like make a list of
Yeah.
like things I need to consistently keep active with in my life, like at least on a
Hmm.
weekly basis, yeah, or sometimes a daily basis. Um, I know, like, this is one example. I know it's so important for me to move my body and be active in some way. Usually, like, hopefully daily, but there are a lot is very often, unfortunately, that I neglect that need and I feel the consequences of that because
Hmm.
it's very a very strong need. And there yeah, I so okay, here's actually kind of
How do you move around when you remember it? How do you move around? You just like go for a walk or what?
yeah, I either walk or like a lot of the times the easiest thing for me is to just pull up a yoga video. Like there are some yoga
Okay, so
channels
you
that I
just use.
follow.
Okay, yeah, sorry, keep going. What
That's okay.
else?
Yeah, and like one important thing that I really want to mention that I haven't really talked about yet is that, and that I've spent a lot of time in the past months getting in tune with, is to realize that women specifically are cyclical on a monthly basis. And that is a huge determining factor of like how you're going to feel on a given day or week. So, in recent months, actually, I'll show you. I got this journal. Well, this is my second one. My second year using a journal like this. It's a cycles journal. So I keep track of my cycle. And that's been a serious game changer for me. Because then I noticed, like, and I still, like, don't always live by it because last month I did not take care of myself and I got so burnt out doing this, like, in this past week.
Ew.
Because that week came and I had no energy left. I was drained. I was completely on empty. I went like crashed really bad. So, but if I keep track and I like honor my body and realize that I need to care for myself and it's important and if and now that I know this, I feel like it's even higher stakes because if I don't do it, I know the consequences, and then I deserve those consequences because I knew what was going to happen and I didn't take care of myself.
Yeah, or I guess it's I've started trying to think of those consequences as just like affirmations for next time. It's like, yes, I was correct to take this seriously, but then like I guess I just didn't have the nerve to follow through and be like, okay, yeah, I'll like actually act on that. It's like, no, then it's like this is what kind of follows when I don't do the thing that I thought I should do, this or that, right? Or I should move around, then I didn't. It's like, okay, so like the consequences are just like a reminder,
Yeah,
the short-term consequences. Yeah.
yeah. That's another thing, like what Abraham teaches. It's like the contrast in life. It's just guidance, and it's
Hmm.
just teaching you how, like, this is what you get when you do this, or like, you know, even if it's
Yeah.
not like as a result of something you did, like here now you can see it and now you've learned from that experience and you know what to avoid next time to or
Yeah,
you know what to
the
do
I
to
like
avoid
that
that.
term, the contrast in life. That's a good way to put it.
Yeah.
It's like it gets the point across, and but it doesn't feel judgmental at all. It's like one thing's one way and the other thing's the other way. There's just, they're different. So,
Yeah. And I personally love that about Abraham, and I don't know if a lot of people would um, resonate with this, but she says that like there's no there's no right, there's no wrong, there's no good, there's no bad. There's just contrast between what you like or what you prefer or what you don't prefer. And that's
mm,
because of human judgment. Human judgment makes things good or bad, or right or wrong. That's a really that's something to really contemplate because
hmm
it took me a long time to settle with that and I kind of like I resonate with that now. On
hmm
like a higher level, like on a spiritual level. Because from our
yeah,
human perspectives, it's so easy to see something as bad or wrong.
right.
But from a higher perspective, it's all growth, it's all expansion. We're learning from all of it. Like our soul is learning from everything that we go through, whether it's
Yeah, or I guess
painful or pleasurable.
yeah, like there's the opportunity to expand from whichever one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, yeah. That's
I'm
what.
trying to remember some if we were talking about this one thing about like higher vibrations and lower vibrations, or if it's just that I read it somewhere else. Um, I thought we were talking about it though.
We talked a little. We talked about vibes, and we talked about. Um, I don't know if we talked about high and low vibes though.
But yeah, I mean, so wherever it was from, there's the idea of like higher vibrations being like lighter and more enjoyable, and like
Yeah.
the lower vibrations being like heavier or more like of a stuck feeling or like darker, or you might be tempted to associate like higher vibration with good and lower vibration with evil, and for like a lot of the judgments we make as humans like associate them that way.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so I kind of think of it also like the higher vibrations have more of like the potential to be expanding, and like the lower vibration that like makes you feel more like stuck or static might make you feel like you're contracting or like
Yeah.
diminishing, I guess. So it, I think you don't always move in like in the direction of expansion. There, like you can contract. Um, but yeah, in
Yeah.
terms of just like the contrast, like things that you want to call good or bad, could both be expansionary. You could be, keep up your high vibes, kind of like a response to it, to expand rather than contract and have your vibes lowered.
Right. Yeah. Oh yeah, and there was another cute thing I wrote that was kind of funny. I just want to see if there's anything else. Okay. Yeah. Um. Yeah, the other one's on my phone. It was in a different journal, so took a picture of it.
Well, so to sum up really quick, so doing you're trying to move around a little bit more
Oh yeah. Sorry.
and like exercising, getting your schedule on. What was the other thing? Exercising and what else?
Um. Getting in tune with my cycles.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
the cycles. Okay, so you're doing that stuff, just trying to like work that stuff in more mindfully in your schedule. The cycles
Yeah.
is really useful, um, because it's something you can observe kind of outside of yourself, or I guess, and inside, so you can kind of sync up actually, huh?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's cool. Yeah. There's a lot of stuff you can learn about that, like a lot of different things to like support like your hormonal health and that how what that affects and everything. Um,
Hmm.
that I really recommend this journal. It's called Cycles Journal, and it's like a small business. So if anybody's interested, definitely pick up one of those
What's
journals.
the inside like? Like, is it gonna just resonate more with like a female audience or like a female user
All right. So
because of
well,
how it's
so
set
this
up,
was like a
or
weekly tracking, like day by day journaling tracking, and then there's like a monthly like symptom tracking. So this would be like all the different.
oh, neat.
Yeah, it's really. So you
So
can.
definitely like anyone could use this. This isn't just
Yeah.
about like moon and menstrual cycle. It's like
Oh yeah,
it's
for
got a bit of
just for
everything in
health
there. Like
health tracking, yeah, and it keeps track of the moon cycles too. And um,
yeah.
there's some like articles in here too that are like really cool.
Oh, that's
Like
fun.
I don't know what this is about wild warriors. I haven't read all of them yet, but and this might be backwards for you right now, but I can flip it
No,
around in the video when I.
oh, on the stream it is, but for me it's not.
Oh
Okay,
yeah, so
neat.
yeah, I love this thing.
How
I
much
need
was
to
that?
read more
That's
of
a
it.
chunky journal.
I know. I think it was like $25 or something. You can get it online. Yeah.
Oh yes, Jeff is saying you can notice mini cycles and other things, like how I would behave after a few hours after having a sugary drink, looking
Yeah.
to replace the void at least. Yeah, I've been with for like the last 2 or 3 years, I've been chatting with another
Oh yeah.
buddy, like an old best friend from high school, um, about how like guys kind of go through a cycle too, but it's just like not such an intense or like chemically strong or like urgent cycle.
Mhm.
Um, so that's been on the back of my mind for a while too. Like, what kind of natural cycle as a guy do you go through? And what I kind of settled on is like it's maybe like a weekly-ish cycle. like
I
half
think
a
I
week to
heard.
a week and a half.
Yeah, well, actually, I think I heard somebody talking about it in men are more like a daily cycle.
Yeah, or it could
But
be,
I'm
yeah,
not
or
prepared to
I
explain
think
that,
it's like
but.
me neither. I think it's a little bit like what Jeb or Switches was
Yeah.
saying, like the mini cycles. So I think women feel those mini cycles too. Just you've got like this bigger like monthly chemical cycle that's like so dominant.
Mm-hmm.
So like if you're a guy and you don't have that, then it's like okay, yeah, I mean you're just gonna feel the mini cycles pull a little bit more because there's nothing else messing with them.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so more like the daily or weekly cycle,
Yeah.
like
Mm-hmm.
you'll just feel it a little bit more.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, and you wanted to.
You were gonna pull up something on your phone though.
Yeah. This is. I don't. I might have told you this one. I thought this was like a cute little thing I realized about myself.
Hmm.
So knowing me or like with me or trying to be friends with me, it's like you have no other choice but to hop on the roller coaster when it's already moving at full speed, which it consistently is. Struggle to strap in, get comfy, and enjoy the thrill ride. I told you that one already, right?
Yeah, yeah, I like so the stuff that was in your journal is pretty deep too. It's like, okay, yeah, like that really hits. Um, but this last one, it there's like so many levels to that. Like
Yeah.
every sentence fragment is just has like these little tiny implications about you that are really interesting. It, it's like it's like why it's so interesting that you chose to describe knowing you as a ride or the strap in for the thrill ride because that makes it sound so like so brief and
Hectic.
transient.
Oh.
Um, you know what I mean? It's like a theme park ride, right?
Yeah.
A thrill ride. It's like,
Ah.
yeah, you get in line or like you just gotta join up and then you go through it and then you gotta decide if you want to go again or not. It's interesting. It, like what you described wasn't about this like commit forever or not. It was like
Hmm.
like it's gonna be kind of hard. You gotta match my speed and hop on.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I don't know. It was interesting.
Hmm. Yeah. I was really, really deep into my experience when I wrote that, and I just remember like having that visual, and or like when that came together in my mind, I was like, "This is hilarious." I'm gonna write this down.
Yeah, yeah,
So that was that. Do you want to look at our star charts? Do you have time?
yeah. There's one second. Oh yeah, there's time. One second though. There was one other thing I wanted to. Did you say everything you wanted to say about your quantum healing thing?
I think so. Yeah. There's a couple other things, but they weren't really like big stuff. A couple other journal things. You want to hear them?
You want to say them, or yeah,
You look like you want to hear them.
let's wrap
You
it
don't
up.
want to miss out. Okay. Like we were
Yeah,
talking
yeah,
about
yeah.
in the
It's
in the
yeah. In your first one, it's like, oh yeah, it's you're talking about your FOMO trauma.
yeah, yeah, yeah. That was in part two, I think. All right.
Yeah.
Well, these are a couple of just like other observations. So, claiming a religion is like facing in one direction all the time. You only get one view, and you can't see the whole infinite world outside of that view.
Hmm. That's an interesting claim. Okay,
Mm.
what's the other thing?
Okay. I felt there was a lot of power in keep asking how. Like when you're contemplating something, keep asking how. I don't know. I was feeling that. Keep asking how. Like how? Oh.
Okay. Just
And
like as a going with the feeling of like staying engaged with something, like
well, I feel like you can't stop expanding that way.
okay.
And you just get deeper and deeper.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So it's a way of like continuing your engagement in life, like instead of asking like, why or should or something. It's like, okay, it's like I'm moving in this direction. How am I gonna do that? It's
Mm-hmm.
how do I keep going, or what am I gonna do next? That kind of thing.
Yeah. Uh, and like about anything.
Mhm. Mhm.
Okay. There's one more thing I think.
Okay, that's fun.
Yeah. There's a couple more. Okay. Identifying with ancestors at any scale is valid. Like ancestor, because there's so many ancestors.
Mhm.
Like human ancestors. There's like energetic ancestors. I don't know. I can't really describe it all right now. But
Oh yeah, I don't know if we talked about how you what you think about star seeds as much
oh
during the podcast episode. Do you want to talk a
yeah,
little bit more about
true.
that?
Um. So it's a thing. Like I said that I love learning about. And I feel like there's so much to learn. There's so much to know, and I don't know a whole lot. Um, but and I don't really know like if I resonate with like being a star seed, but
Mm.
I do believe I feel a resonance with the term light workers. I feel like there are
Okay.
like a big chunk of the population now is are here as light workers, and we're here to raise the vibration as of the planet going forward in this paradigm shift that we're seeing right now.
So what's the connection between light workers and star seeds, or is it just the same vibe? You know, like it's
Star
like
seeds,
arriving into this life with like a certain mission or something.
yeah. So star seeds is I feel like is a more specific term. It's like you're seeded here on Earth from another star system for the
Mm-hmm.
mission of being a light worker. But I feel like light workers can also be like earthbound spirits or earth incarnate only spirits.
Right.
I like learning about that stuff too, like where we all incarnate. And I heard somebody talk about one time like the percentage of like earth incarnate individuals compared to like starseed individuals, and it's like pretty. I don't know. I find it really interesting. It's like
Hmm.
pretty diverse, like pretty cool.
Yeah. I'm always curious what how those thoughts come to people or like what inspires them.
Yeah, I think well, I think those terms were like pushed a lot into like with new age spirituality and kind of just making it like more attractive to
Hmm.
people, like people wanting to sell like their oracle decks and stuff like that. So
Oh.
there's a lot of like commercialism in like pushing those terms,
Okay.
but it's still kind of
Yeah.
like it still kind of resonates for me.
Hmm.
But they
Well, I hope it resonates a little bit because other like what bad marketing if you did all this stuff and it didn't even resonate with someone? Yikes.
yeah. Well, I mean, like they were talking about this stuff back in the '80s too, so it's not like
Hmm.
it's not that like. And also like a lot of spiritual texts like reference. I don't know if they reference like specifically spirits from other star systems, but they reference um like aliens. Have you got into that? Like,
No.
oh yeah. Well, that's what I'm kind of on right now. So
Oh yeah, you're on
that's what
your
I'm
aliens built the pyramids
yeah,
arc.
yeah, that's what I'm exploring now. I love it. It's
Yeah, yeah,
crazy.
yeah.
It's mind breaking. So.
I'm interested to hear more about that as you keep looking into it and a little bit more of the stuff that people say about like how long there's been like human civilizations on Earth. Right, we talk about like the most recent like civilizational boom, I guess, like from the past is it like 6 or 10,000 years? Like the history and like just a little bit before prehistory, like when like the earliest forms of like writing and records are being kept, that kind of thing, I think is when we normally count as like the start of civilization.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but then we keep finding like evidence of like older, like much older cities and
Yeah.
stuff. So it's kind of like how many times has the civilizational cycle like actually gone on?
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean? So it's like, are we the aliens? Like we're about to, like with SpaceX and everything, like we're getting to the point where we could become a little bit more spacefaring. So is it like were humans on Mars before maybe, or like did some of us go into orbit and then like things went to shit on Earth, and so then they're like, well, maybe we won't go back down there for a little bit. We can just stick it out up here, and then like 10,000 years go by. It's like, oh, hey, look, some people survived down there. Look at that. They're playing with stones again. It's like, maybe we'll help them. Maybe we'll help them.
Uh-huh.
So, you know what I mean? Maybe are we the aliens? And
Yeah.
there's just like these weird cycles that go on and they overlap a little bit. Stuff like that could totally happen and it wouldn't even be that weird. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I kind of wonder about it.
I feel like we're on the way to total disclosure. I don't know how it's gonna happen, but we'll see. Like
Total disclosure. I've never heard
what
anyone say
happens.
that. What do you mean by that?
Well, like we're
Yeah, when you it does
the
is that in
whole
reference to
entire
something?
well, like the whole entire globe is gonna be exposed and made aware of other beings that are here with us.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. Because it's 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 still at a point where like so many people doubt that, but I feel like we're headed to much. Yeah, I mean we have to evolve.
Yeah,
I think.
I think so too. So going back to the, like you said a couple things a bit ago that uh like the asking like how is that going to happen? There's kind of a question that I ask or that I'll bring up sometimes to clarify things, and it's um oh my goodness, like what question are you trying to answer? So like with the whole alien
Mm,
thing, like you're looking into that, like if someone has
yeah.
like a theory or they're like, what if this, what if that? It's like, okay, first of all, like what question are you trying to answer? Like what are you trying to figure out?
Uh-huh.
Like if you're giving me these little theories, like theories about what? What's the context? What question are you trying to answer? So total disclosure kind of makes sense. It's like what question can you put on that? Uh, it's like are there other beings around us, or do spirits exist, and how do they influence us? Is kind of like the question. And so then you've got the sense of we're reaching a point of total disclosure where everyone will kind of be aware that there's this question, and even if they didn't know, like they'll kind of receive an answer about it and go, "Oh, I guess a bunch of people were trying to answer this one question, huh?"
Yeah. Well, I don't know though. Like it's yeah. That's I'm so like on that train right now. I'm like I don't know how to
Hmm.
explain it all, but like I love like finding people talking about it and like talking about it like they know about it.
Yeah.
Like actually, if you ever seen the Jeff Mara podcast, he interviews a lot of like really interesting people, and he
Hmm.
he just posted one last night of he interviewed this guy who was like a ex. He used to work with the European agency, and he's like talked to aliens, and he's like dealt
The
with like
European Space
UFOs.
Agency.
Maybe yeah, that what's his name?
That's the thing. I'm not like vaguely referencing the Europeans have the European Space Agency, the ESA. It's like they're like the European NASA.
Yeah. So it must be that then. But yeah, this guy is
Yeah.
really. Let me see if I can find his name.
So Jeb was saying they built a tourist traction on Göbekli Tepe and now further research into the site has been essentially halted, they also added an orchard which may cause damage, not wanting us to know what's there.
Hmm.
Yeah, with like civilization and like alien stuff, it's not talked about. Like, I guess the pyramids get all the attention, but I guess there is like this super ancient site in Turkey, right? Göbekli Tepe.
Hmm.
Um,
Oh my god.
so yeah, there's definitely people like trying to look into that.
Hmm.
There's a show on Netflix about it too. Oh wait, have you heard of that actually, Kim?
No, what's
Have
the
you heard of
show?
the show? It's called The Gift, or Atiye.
That sounds familiar. I don't know.
It's on Netflix. You would really like it.
Oh. It's called The Gift? Okay.
Yeah, I'll type it in chat.
Oh, alright. I don't have Netflix right now, but maybe I'll see if I can borrow somebody's.
Mm, mm,
Just get
yeah.
it? Okay. I gotta watch it. Anyway, this
Is it
guy's.
possible to share Netflix on Discord still? Maybe we can watch it in your
Oh,
Discord or
probably.
something.
Oh, yeah, that's a good idea. We have a night for it.
Yeah,
Yeah, alright. If
yeah.
anybody's
Or
interested, if anyone's here, Jebs, if you're interested, maybe we could do a night of it.
yeah, if Jebs is already talking about Quebec Tepe, man, I can't say it now.
Yeah, I was
Maybe
gonna say.
maybe he's already seen it, but
I was gonna say I'm glad you read that comment because I would have been like, I don't know.
no,
I don't know what that says.
this is the woo woo stuff you're into right now, though. You got to know about this. You should do a Google search for that site, and I think it'll be another step on your journey looking into
Okay,
it.
I'm writing it down. I'll do it after.
Oh,
I don't
Jeff,
want
Jeff
to.
hasn't seen it. If you like that stuff, then you definitely have to watch this show too. It's a little hokey in like a couple spots, and I think it's like 3 seasons, and for me, like it ends kind of weekly, um, but it was fun watching it.
Mm. Go Becky. Go Beckley.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, I'm gonna look it up later.
Hmm.
So how much?
Yeah, you should. Yeah, and the show's about like this like ancient past and like multiple lives and like higher
Oh.
selves
Oh
kind of
yeah,
stuff.
heck
Like
yeah.
literally all the stuff we're talking about. It's like it pulls in a bunch of that stuff. But yeah, sorry, go ahead.
So, oh, I was just gonna ask you how much time you have left, because we can do our star charts
Ooh,
or.
let's go like 30 more minutes.
Oh, all right. All right. Let's look at our star charts then. Well, I'm not. We're
Okay.
not. We're
Yeah,
not gonna put them on the screens. We're just gonna look at them and talk about them.
yeah, it's a secret. If we say too much and you can figure it out, then good for you. But
We're just gonna compare, yeah. All right.
so
Let's
before
see what
before we
goes.
start talking about it, I've got yours already pulled up in the browser. But I was kind of curious, um what makes you interested in astrology? Like what kind of questions do you think it helps you answer? Or
Oh,
like what part of your curiosity does it satisfy?
you
Why
know
do you
what?
enjoy
This
looking?
this kind of goes deep and like kind of a big question for me because I always like even when I was young, I was like really interested and curious about astrology. I thought it was like really fun, and
Mm-hmm.
I I wanted to know like what my sign was and what my sign says about me because like I was always into these kind of like what can I find out about me? Like what any way I could like specialize myself and like what's something like what's your flower or something or what's your
Like your gemstone, like
like
what's your birth
yeah, yeah,
birthstone?
anything that will like symbolize like okay, this is me. This like suits me or something. So I would get really into
Mm-hmm.
stuff like that. Um, and so when I learned the signs and I saw like Sagittarius, I like really felt like I identified with that, and I thought it was like the coolest sign.
Mm-hmm.
So I was so I was so proud of being Sagittarius, and like every time like some other wonky piece of crap zodiac thing would say my birthday is in Capricorn, I would be like so offended. So yeah, I always identify with Sagittarius. And now come to find out, like when you look at my birth chart with the time I was born, it puts my sun in Capricorn.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. But Sagittarius is I like it because like well first of all the centaur is so cool and like with the archer, really cool. And
Mm-hmm.
just like this sense of adventure, I felt like I always identify with that and like wanting to travel and being interested in learning and expanding because I am. Um, I never really. I whenever I looked at Capricorn, I was like, it just seems kind of like boring. Like they're workaholics. They're so serious. Like I don't think I'm like that. So
Oh, but I mean, isn't that probably just that's just reductive, right? Like that's one way
yeah,
you could
it
look at
is.
it. Like, isn't that such a low vibe way of looking at something? Because you could say bad things about Sagittarius too. Like, oh,
Yeah,
it's like don't depend on an arrow, it's just flying through anyway. Or you know what I mean?
yeah, but I don't think that's bad. I think that's cute. Like anything you could say bad about Sagittarius, I'd be like, yeah, oh, that's like it's just whatever. Just deal with it.
Yeah, yeah. Well, yeah, I think this kind of stuff is popular because it helps people like explore or like flesh out their identity a little bit.
Yeah.
Um, I've started enjoying looking into it a little bit, and I guess tarot also, um, just because it gives me some more ideas about how to like handle all the options I see in front of me.
Mhm.
Um, so some people take it like really seriously, like really prescriptively almost.
Mhm.
Um, but like I don't know, it's more of just like a starting point, like a brainstorming point for me, since there is some structure to it. I can kind of just throw my observations into it and see if it helps me like get a new idea how to arrange my thoughts. That's kind of how I've been using it.
Mm. Yeah. Um, I mean, how I like use it now, I guess. Like when I look at my chart, I guess I feel like depends on how much you believe it, but like if you read into it, I feel like you can get some like shadow work out of
Mm,
deciphering this information. Because you're like, oh, do I
mm-hmm,
really think that way, or do I not really think that way, or does that not match up? Like either way, like you kind of are looking into like how am I behaving and presenting in the world, and is there is there something like is that lining up with my um, path or how I should be presenting or how I want to be presenting?
right. Yeah, it's I guess going with just like the natural energy again. It's like give me some ideas for like what my natural energy should be, or like I've got five options in front of me. Which of them kind of lines up with this more like consistent or right version of myself, I guess. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, well,
So
go ahead.
have you been looking into this stuff a little bit more? I remember before you said that you were not looking into like the planets and astrology like so intently, like you were doing other stuff. So have you been looking this stuff up a little bit more recently?
Mm, not recently. Like a couple of years ago, when I had my chart read to me by an astrologer, I I kind of looked into it. Like she gave me a whole read. I recorded it. I have the voice recording of it. Um,
Oh, that's neat.
yeah. Um, so like after that, I kind of like went on the site and I like looked into it more, like what the planets actually mean and like what the nodes mean, and
Mm-hmm.
so I got like a little bit of an idea, like a basic understanding, I would say. But recently, I
Okay.
haven't looked much more into it.
Was it a long reading? Like, is it a long recording? Is it like 5 minutes? Is it like 2 hours?
Probably more than five, less than 10 minutes.
Or five less than 10? Nice.
Yeah. So, I might maybe I can find it someday and like
Okay. Yeah.
and share it.
Oh, we just got a raid.
We
Buggy
did.
raid.
Oh, sorry, Timmy. I don't have I don't hear my notifications, and my chat's not there. Oh, I see. Hi, Wug. Hi, Sleepy. Hi, thank you guys. Thank you for rating. Thank you for coming. Ah, yes, the podcast was released today, and we got the podcast candle here in honor of the start of the series. Very exciting. Thank you for coming to celebrate. No, I'm so glad you guys came. I'm a little bit like different than like normal streamer Kimomu because I have earbuds in now, and I'm like I can like hear myself echoing, and like I feel weird and self conscious. But thank you for rating. Who we got here? We got Wuggy and Sleepy. Yeah. Thank you guys. And channeling Mr. Rogers. Wait, why?
Just because you're in like the seat and it's by the lamp, it feels
Oh,
like if a bunch of people, hi Wuggy, if a bunch of people came in, it's like they just came into your living room. It's like, oh, so nice for you to come by. We're just having a little
welcome.
chat, just a little afternoon tea. Come join
Can
us.
I get you some tea?
But yeah, wouldn't you like to be my neighbor? But instead of that, it's like, what's your tagline? I want to know what it's like to be you.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Instead of a cardigan, you wear overalls.
Yeah. Perfect. Oh my god, I love it, Brendan. Thank you. You're just like,
That's your brand now. Now you have to wear overalls in all your.
this is my only pair. No, I've got like two other pairs, I think. Yeah. They're not
So
really
you have a
overalls.
bunch of overalls. I was joking. Maybe this is gonna be a thing though.
But the problem is they're all blue. So, I mean, is that a
Why is that a
problem?
problem?
Is that a problem? I don't know.
No, you're not gonna do it though. Raiders came in at a perfect time because we're about to start discussing our horoscopes. So it's yeah, I feel like wearing just the same garment and they're all the same color is like not Sagittarius enough for you. It's like, nah, I'm gonna change it up a little more than that.
Yeah. Oh my god. Brendan, okay, this is the thing. I can't stream without you now. Like, I feel
No, no,
like
no, no. You can.
I feel like you're an
I'll
integral
accept.
component.
I accept that, but you can still stream without
But it's so good to have you. Just like, I feel like you're narrating half of my thoughts. It's amazing.
me. I don't mind being a consistent visitor, but if you plan to stream and I go, oh yeah, I can't make that one, then you better not cancel. I'll get angry at you if you cancel that stream just because I can't make it.
Oh. All right. But I just want you to know I appreciate you. The
Okay, thanks.
the garage. Can you hear the garage? This is a
I
thing.
can't hear it.
This was a thing through our whole episode. Everyone, like BRB cat. Okay. Um,
Yeah,
our whole
you edited it
episode.
out pretty well.
I'm so
I couldn't
sorry.
tell which ones. I couldn't tell which edits were. I feel like probably you did the most edits on the garage times because there were a couple where it's like, why was there a skip there? It's like that's kind of weird. It's like, oh, it was probably the garage. It wasn't
Yeah.
obvious though. You did a good job editing.
Oh, thank you. Did you like the bloopers at the end? Did you get to see the bloopers?
I Were they bloopers? I was after we
It
jumped
was.
on the call, I couldn't tell if I was listening to something else coming through your audio or if it was still the stream. And
Uh.
so I since I split the my headphones, right, I've got this my
Oh.
headphones on this ear, but then like my phone earbud in this
Oh.
ear to be on the Discord call.
Smart.
Um I don't have anything on my computer right now, actually. I don't need this on. Um but yeah, so it was kind of split, so I couldn't right at the very end I couldn't totally tell what was going on. But I did see them. I just didn't totally understand what was going on. I got distracted, okay?
Okay, yeah, I understand. It happens to me too. It's like we talked
Yeah.
about of fidgeting. That's the
Yeah, yeah,
blooper
yeah.
at the end of the second episode.
Is it
Spoiler.
fidgeting? Okay.
Yeah.
I noticed in the intro when when we were talking about like right with the song and everything, the bit in where you're lighting the podcast candle, um I'm
Mm,
doing like the little chair swivel,
mm.
and the whole time we were talking about like how you wanted to cut it, I was thinking it's like, oh, why does it have to be the part where I'm like fidgeting in my chair? But
Oh.
there's no way to avoid it. I don't think there's any way to cut it out.
Oh. I didn't even notice. Wait, did I? In the it's in the beginning, the nano intro.
Yeah, it's in
Oh,
all of
you're
them
doing.
because it's like literally the part where you're like you've got the lighter and you're like lighting the candle and
Oh, I thought that
or
was
like
good
where you're
though.
saying like use the podcast candle. So it wasn't, I guess it wasn't too bad, but I noticed it, I was like, oh man, I'm doing like this weird little fidget.
You know what? It's like it's just the part where I light the candle, and that's in between where we're just talking casually, and when we actually open up ceremonially. So like just lighting the candle is the part where I tell you to shut the fuck up, and like before that you're just doing whatever. So like it's fine.
I guess so. Yeah, yeah. It's probably fine.
I liked it. I thought it was fine. Yeah, I thought it was good how it looked.
Okay, good.
So don't be self conscious. All
I
right.
know, right? Yeah, that's also why I didn't say anything. It's like it's probably fine. And you'll usually speak up if something's a little bit weird. So it's like Tim's not saying
Oh
anything, so
yeah.
it's fine.
If something's wrong for me, I will say it. Or if
Yeah,
something's
like
bothering
doesn't
me,
match the vibe or something.
don't worry.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You'll know.
Yeah, yeah. That's why it was so interesting a second ago when you were saying about the people pleasing thing. Because at the same time, like if something's bugging you, like you'll just say it. It's like that, and it's like not. It's like such the polar opposite of people pleasing. It's like that's really bugging. Like I'm so sorry, but that's really bugging me, which is good. Which is good.
Yeah.
Um,
I've
it was interesting hearing the people pleasing side, like you
mm,
expressed that also.
yes, and I have to say like that has been a huge like growth for me because
Hmm.
people pleasing is like my learned behavior throughout my life, and that's something that I had to drop along the way as I became
Hmm.
more like spiritually aware and more aware of myself and my behaviors and my habits.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's it was kind of like this journal entry was more me like observing that it's still present and active in my life. It's just like really deeply subconscious, and at this point
Hmm.
like I consciously have worked at it, but subconsciously it's still there, and there's a little more reflection I have to do to address that.
Yeah. Yeah. Makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay, well, do you wanna chat horoscope stuff?
Yes, I do. I want to look at them right
Want
now. Let's go.
wanna talk you wanna talk star stuff?
Yeah, let's go. So you are definitely Sagittarius. No,
I'm
no
like
doubt.
triple threat Sagittarius.
Mm-hmm. And your moon is Sagittarius too.
Mm-hmm.
Ah.
That's what I mean. Yeah,
You're
triple threat.
fiery. You got 13
I got sun.
fire placements.
Yeah, I've got a lot of fire placements.
Wow. And Mercury, Sag. You got some Capricorn too? Saturn,
Yeah,
Uranus, and Neptune?
I've got a bunch. Yeah, I've got a ridiculous constellation in Capricorn and in the fifth house. What the heck?
Oh yeah, see, houses, that's what I don't know too much about.
Hmm. Yeah, they're just like themes or what is it? Groupings of like experiences in life. Did I
Mm-hmm.
go sideways?
Yeah, for a second.
Um, yeah, or what do we say? Why can't I think of the word right now? Like different parts of life,
Like themes.
aspects. So it'll be like the home and family part of your life, or like your ego part of your life, or like the others, like how you relate to others, or like the communication themes or aspects of your life, um,
Mm-hmm.
work, health, um, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Those are kind of like what the houses describe. So like different elements or like yeah, parts of life.
Okay. So I know a lot more about the planets and what they represent. Well, some of the planets. I know that Mercury is
That's
communication.
cool. Mm-hmm.
Mars is like how you express your anger and how you address conflict and how you fight with
Yeah,
people.
yeah, like assertiveness or like an emotion associated with it, like anger, stuff like that.
Hmm. Yeah. So, um,
Okay,
go ahead.
so do you want to just start by like with the I guess when like a lot of people focus on like your sun placement for horoscope, right? But then you dig a little bit more deeply into it, and then like the next level is talking about like sun, moon, um,
Rising.
rising sign,
Yeah.
and Mercury. Those are kind of like
Oh.
the first set to kind of get into. Have you
Hmm.
heard that?
Yeah, yeah. I didn't know Mercury was that, but um, yeah.
Sometimes it gets
Sun, Moon,
mentioned,
Rising.
I guess as yeah, sun, moon, rising, and I guess there is like the next one that just gets kind of commonly thrown around is like Mercury also. But just because it is like kind of the planet of like communication, so it's like a little bit of like this direction or like how you might like a movement. It's more of like a movement planet, so maybe like how you move through it's kind of interesting to like it's a very dynamic one. So it's kind of interesting to track that one as well. I think that's why it gets thrown in. So
Hmm.
you want to just go through those four for us. So what are
Yeah.
your four? Those four.
Well, my sun is in Capricorn. My
Mm-hmm.
moon is Taurus, which those are
Oh
both
yeah, your moon's in.
those are both earth signs.
Uh-huh.
Uh, Mercury is Sagittarius,
Mm-hmm.
and my rising is Leo.
Yeah. Do you know a lot about the constellations, like what those represent? I'm still like a little fuzzy on those.
Somewhat, yeah. Like which ones are you wondering?
So like being a Leo rising, like do you have like a lot of understanding of that? Does that resonate with you at all?
Yeah, and I can like click on it here too and go into it and like read a whole thing about it. But yeah,
Okay, yeah.
it's basically so rising sign. That's like how you come off as a first impression in the world. That's how you kind of
Mm-hmm.
like present yourself in the world. So if I were to meet like someone for the first time, I might seem like I'm a Leo because
Mm-hmm.
they might think, oh, she's like a performer. She looks like she loves attention. Like I don't know all this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
which is
So you
probably
love
true.
attention.
That's like Leo stuff. So um, let's go down and look. Oh, and it's my first house. I don't know. Physical personality. People with Leo ascendant
Yeah,
need
I
to
think
use
the ascendant, it's like it's the how you come off thing because the ascendant line is always like the on that side of the first house, I'm thinking.
yeah, and that's you only find that out by knowing your birth time. So if you don't know your birth
Yeah.
time, that you won't be able to figure out your rising sign. Um,
Mm,
but this says uh, they need to use their creativity, authority, and power. They are looking for love, admiration, and applause. Some might push to the front by force and be eccentric. They should strive to become an independent and distinct person. Potential danger of these people is their pride. They must first show a good effort in order to deserve respect and admiration. Those who fail, yeah. Those who fail to shine may become bitter. A crucial turn is when they learn to give without expecting something in return. So you're
mm.
also Leo rising, aren't
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
you?
Does that stuff resonate with you? I think that it kind of makes sense, like because in a lot of other ways I'm like a little bit more just naturally independent or like not really attention seeking, but then there's like this really like obvious kind of like attention or like wanting to like guide the focus a little bit aspect to me. So yeah, that is kind of interesting. For me, it resonates. Does it resonate for you?
It does, yeah. And I also I like that they put in
This
the
podcast streamer.
yeah, yeah. I like that they added like we need to learn to give without expecting something in return. So like this also
Hmm.
incorporates like we're always evolving. So like yeah, we have some um, like weak points, I guess you could say, and then like but we also have the opportunity to learn and move beyond that
Yeah.
and
Is
strengthen.
that was that a description of Leo? Was that just like
Leo
bringing over
ascendant. Well, actually, yeah, it says
Leo ascendant? Okay,
ascendant
yeah.
in Leo. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I was gonna say because that seems like a really important theme for like an ascendant sign, where it's like maybe not like your main thing, but it's like this little shard of you. So you gotta kind of watch out for like the sharp edges of it. Or it's like maybe if it's not also like your sun sign or something, um, then you might be like tempted to adopt like the easy aspects of it without being aware right away of like the more balanced ways, right? The more balanced habits of that sign. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
so
Yeah. And then if you click on it, it says there's more. It says that we're Aquarius descendant, and
yeah.
this talks about partners and compatibility. For better relationship, it is necessary to cool the fiery passion and learn to be more objective and fair. If Aquarius is your descendant, you should learn to be one of many. A bit of the ordinariness can make you more special. Ruler who treats his people as equals is far more popular than if he maintained a haughty distance. Despite the unpredictability, there should be emphasis on freedom in your relationship. Maybe you choose partners who are open minded and special so they can free you from your vanity.
Yeah, that's
Wow.
interesting. That's I don't know, that one for me is so like yeah, like agree, like why is that an insight? It's I don't know, how does that strike you?
Well,
For me
actually,
it's
there
like
was
yeah,
something that
yeah.
struck me. Learn to be
Like is that
one
an
of
insight for you
many.
where it's like, oh yeah, I wouldn't have thought of approaching things like that. For me it's like I'm almost like try to do that a little bit too much sometimes. Maybe I should try to like
Mm.
be in the spotlight a little bit more. But I don't know, what do you think?
Well, um, I feel like you have a good understanding of like what you need to like strive for in that regard. And
Hmm.
for me, like that's something that I have had to work with myself.
Hmm.
Yeah. Um,
Well, like sharing the spotlight, or yeah, being like one of many,
yeah,
or
yes, because I talked about this with Beth, who I interviewed. She's a vocal coach, and
mm-hmm,
being a singer, I asked her if she ever experienced like competition, toxic competitive energy, which happens a lot when you're into that kind of thing, and when you're a performer, there's a feeling like need to be the best, and
mm-hmm,
I identified with that a lot, like needing to be the best singer, otherwise, like there is no otherwise. Like, I'm the best, okay? So that's
uh-huh.
how it was, and I had to learn to get beyond that. I had to get over that.
Yeah, yeah.
That's really the best way I can think of explaining my yeah, relation to that.
No, that makes sense. Yeah, I feel like as long as I get to like keep pursuing like improving at something or like exploring something the way I want, then like I have often like very little, as long as I'm in my process, I don't really compare myself to like other people's results, or like I might feel that pull a little bit, but then it's like, no, I don't have to really worry about that. Like I feel like I can almost fade into the background a little too easily because of that attitude.
Yeah. Mm.
So yeah, I was wondering because it like all the things it's saying about like the increased like freedom or independence in relationships, and what like grounding out the the fieriness, like I feel like those like the independence could be like a very fire thing,
Yeah.
fire sign thing, and the groundedness could be a very earth sign thing, and
Mm.
we both have like a bunch of fire and earth placements.
Yeah, I wanted to talk about that too. That was one of the first things I noticed, was that, like what I said to you, is that our composition is very similar.
Hmm.
Like, we're
Hmm.
both mostly earth and fire, and barely
Yeah,
any air or water. A little bit low on water. We both have
yeah,
this. We both have 5 placements in water. I
yeah,
have 2 in air. You have 0 in air, which means you're
yeah. That's
very, very grounded and very logical and uh, not so flighty in your
yeah.
perspectives.
It's funny. It's funny though. I feel like most people perceive me as being like a very precise or like logical sort of person, and I feel like those are associated with air signs a lot more.
Mm,
Um,
yeah,
but I
like
have
the
zero air
mind.
signs.
Yeah, 0.
Yeah, like yeah, the mind or the philosophy, like the I guess the higher view. Um,
Mm.
I feel like I'm always going in that direction, but I have zero air signs. Maybe someone else would be like, "That's why astrology's fake." I don't know.
I mean, I don't know. There's different ways of expressing that stuff, right? So, like, I don't
Yeah,
know. You could always look
there
at,
is.
yeah, like,
Well, but yeah, you could also look at like where is like what's the influence of like Jupiter or some of the other air associated planets,
mm-hmm.
right? Or what are the some of this stuff feels like it overlaps a little bit. Like Jupiter I think is the ruler of an air sign, and is it also the ruler of one of the water sign?
Mm,
I forget.
I do not know.
Anyway, um
I think it's Sagittarius. Doesn't it rule
yeah,
Sagittarius?
Sagittarius,
Yeah, it's fire.
Sagittarius, and oh yeah, I'm just mixing a bunch of things up then. Anyway, but like Jupiter and Sagittarius are also like very philosophy oriented, aren't they? Isn't Jupiter
Yes.
supposed to be the ruler of the ninth? Is it ninth house?
Ninth house, and the ninth house is very like spiritual,
Philosophy.
philosophical. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know much about like life path number?
Life path number.
Because I find that really interesting too.
There is a bunch of like number stuff. I think no, I don't know a bunch about that specifically, but it kind of touches on. Let me grab my book.
You should, yeah, you should look up your life path number. I wonder if it's here on the site.
So in the other app I use, I
Numerology.
think it's in there. That's a single digit number, right?
Well, it can be double digit. I'm pretty sure mine's 11. You find it by your birthday. I'm gonna look mine up now.
Yeah. So remember this book?
Oh yeah.
I think it's like the beginning of this one, and then it goes into like a bunch more stuff.
Ooh, nice.
I think mine is 9,
Okay.
but the 11 doesn't is it has a lot of that stuff. Is that the stuff that has to do with like the tarot associations, or is this a different life number? I think it is
It's
the tarot association stuff.
uh
And even
not
if you have a
that I
double digit
know
one,
of. Yeah, not that I know of,
oh
but
really?
it's just yeah, this is just numerology. So you just add all the numbers, basically add all the numbers,
Yeah.
and then
Well, okay. So what was yours is 11.
yeah,
So what's the as you're looking at it, what does the 11 mean as the life path number?
character po- character possibilities. These people are ambitious and intelligent. They can achieve a great success, but also a great failure. They are gifted and have a tendency to have visions. They can use inspiration from God. They need patience, balance, and more determination. They are sensitive and creative. They need to learn to correctly evaluate their emotions and traumatic experiences. That's what really resonates. I haven't checked on this side, but that really resonates. And then it says
Hmm.
weaknesses, what should be learned. Watch for impatience, misapprehensions, yeah, that's right. Um, hardness and intransigence. Beware of misunderstandings, stressful situations, and variable material life. They should be careful not to use their remarkable abilities only for accumulating wealth.
Hmm.
Yeah, and then there's like year numbers. So like right now I'm in my year number 4. This is cool. Yeah, I like numerology. Sorry, I've been
You're number 4. That's kind of interesting. So there's like a
welcome
cycle
back, Lucky.
associated with that.
Yeah, so every year actually I have a like a little workbook on numerology too and that talks more about it too.
Okay.
So like every year is a new number.
Hmm.
Okay, so on my birthday, so this is until my birthday this year, I'm in year 4, but then after my birthday, I'm in year 5. So I guess it goes chronologically. And so this, it talks about what I'm gonna go through this year or something. Should I read that?
Hmm.
Personal year
Oh,
4
sure.
is physically very active period. This year, people must learn to maintain a certain rhythm in order. A rhythm? In
Yeah.
order to use their energy efficiently. But they should not work too hard because they will eventually get sick. I should have read this last week. During this period, one has the tendency to work too hard and not paying attention to the warning signs of overwork. Oh my god. What?
Are you doing that this year? Oh,
What?
I guess that's what he
Yeah.
said, huh?
Yeah. During this time, there is also a tendency to make hasty decisions that lead to different limitations and consequent frustrations. When people decide to do something, they encounter challenges in every step they make, and there always seem to be something in their way. Ugh. During
Hmm.
this period, a sense of certain security is of great importance to people. They are thinking about their future and about the future of those who are closest to them. That's definitely true.
Hmm.
Consequently, they plan ahead more than any other time before. That is why people usually tend to stay home at this time. They stay close to their families and prefer their family environment to change and discovering something new. It is a year which is suitable for buying property and making investments. In this year, people will seek support and encouragement because they may feel insecure and have doubt about their ability to achieve success in life. It's because they just concentrate on work and are unable to notice the progress they have made. During this period, a lot can be done, but it is necessary to learn how to organize life and constructively channel energy. Otherwise, stress can cause nervous tension or even physical illness. If people learn to relax and deal with energy, and sometimes even with problems, personal year 4 can bring them a great success.
Okay, that's cool. I'm just calculating something. So yeah, it's the year card, or in the book that I just showed. I think it's gonna end up saying a similar thing. So
Mm.
you're in like year 4 of the cycle.
Mm-hmm.
Be fun if I could calculate this out really quick. That's gonna take a little too long. Yeah, so like just plugging in your birthday, like you'd also calculate number 11 in the book I'm using, but it's because they're going to add up the numbers the same way, right? So it is like a numerology based thing.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but like basically your birth card in tarot would be number 11, the justice card. Um, and so then like you're put into like this theme with the number twos because 11 also adds to two, so you just keep adding it until it gets down to one digit.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and so that's number two is associated with uh, High Priestess. Justice is also in it, and card number 20. What's card number 20? Is it Judgments? One second. Let me open it up again. They're basically broken into like those constellations. So with card number 11, you're in the constellation of the High Priestess with the High Priestess card, Justice card, and Judgment.
Mm.
So
Wow.
the soul archetype, I'll just read you a couple of things out of it. The soul archetype is unconscious, inner, all-knowing self, and psyche. And the keywords are intuition, self-sufficiency, self-trust, independence, duality, self and other, choice analysis, struggle, division, reflection, clairvoyance, counterpoise or contraposition, equilibrium, and adjustment.
Mm-hmm. That's
So
so
yeah,
cool.
that's cool. I think there's some overlap. What you were reading is goes into a lot more detail, and so I may get in some more details from this too. But we should put some time aside and talk about it.
Yeah, I love to. So wait, was that
Have
just
you?
that for this year, or that's my stuff?
That's in general. So
Okay, yeah,
then what
that's
you
what I
would
thought.
do is starting because of that, you'll go. There's like a certain cycle of cards that you're kind of in based on the year. So like the the card for that year for you will kind of will change every year.
Mm.
Um,
Hmm.
sorry, because of adding up, I forget which numbers. But so each person's like thematic card for a given year. So like for this year, your card and my card will be totally different,
Mm-hmm.
and probably are totally different. So if
Mm.
by like the one you were reading off of saying that it's like year 4 for you, it's probably like it's the third or fourth year after like your card 11 year again. So like
Oh.
your when you were born, you had justice as the card for that year, right? That's why it's your birth card. But then the next year it will have been card number 12. The year after that, um, because of how the numbers add up, you actually cycle back to card number 4, the Emperor, and
Huh.
then
Wow.
for the year after that is card number 5, and 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, all the way through 13. Then it cycles back to 5. So you kind of go through like this weird like
Wow.
kind of like shifting cycle of numbers, like almost like a little spiral that
Huh.
kind of changes. It's interesting.
Yeah.
So I think that's what like your being in year number 4 means for the one that you're talking about.
Cool.
What year are we in? We're in it's 2024. So actually it's that's with card 14, Temperance. what were the things? What were the things that you said were supposed to be happening in this year? Temperance is that's funny because that's gonna be like choices. They're
Staying
not
at
really
home,
choices. Like getting the
staying
right,
close to
yeah,
family.
getting the right balance. Temperance. It's like you've got like this one energy. What do you add to like balance it out?
Mm,
How do you like get that equilibrium? Not too much of one thing, not too much of another.
yeah.
Yeah, I guess like dealing with like the themes of like avoiding burnout and like getting into your rhythm, those are very temperance-y things. So
Yeah.
yeah, there you go. Okay.
Oh,
So I guess I do kind of know what you're talking about. It's yeah.
I love it. That's awesome.
But I wouldn't have called it being in year number 4. I would have said you're in a temperance year just
Mm,
because of how it was presented to me. You're in a card 14 year.
mm. Sweet.
Let's see, which one am I in right now? I'm
Yeah.
in so I'm actually in my birth card
What's your life
having a
path
birth card
number?
year. I'm number 9.
Oh, yeah, yeah, okay. And what year is it? What year are
It's
you in?
so card number 9 is the Hermit.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm in a Hermit year.
Oh. Really? So, yeah, I mean, does it feel like that?
Yeah, I quit my job and now I'm bringing things back to like home, like recentering myself, like gathering
Mm.
my truths again, like things I discovered. Um, which is funny because the 2 years before that, were Chariot and Strength. So it feels like a bunch of momentum building, but then right, so especially Chariot is just like charge forward, do the
Mm.
thing. Um, then Strength feels like very much like, yeah, just like don't get distracted a little bit. Kind of like master yourself a little bit. Like you can almost like endurance more. Um, so doesn't that feel like, yeah, just like gathering some momentum and it's like, okay, yeah, you can just keep going in this direction. Then Hermit just feels like, okay, whoop, back to the roots.
Yeah. You know what
Yeah,
I just realized too that I want to say? You are actually like numerically 3 years behind me. And now you're in your hermit phase, so and that was me 3 years ago.
yeah,
Isn't that interesting?
yeah. Yeah. Uh, your Hermit year would have been 2019.
Oh.
So 3 years ago would have been, yeah, you would have been in your
I
was it Justice year again 3 years ago in 2021.
yeah.
Don't you feel like you were really hermiting like 2019 2020 though?
Well, yeah. I mean,
I guess 2021 a little bit as well
2021
though.
as well, yeah. Yeah. But less so maybe. I don't know, like I feel like I had a longer than 1 year hermit phase. Let's just go with that, I guess.
Yeah. So starting from 2019, the years you have gone through would have been in 2019, you have had a hermit year, then Wheel of Fortune,
Oh.
then Justice in 2021, so that was about 3 years ago.
Mhm.
Then Hanged Man. Maybe that's the energy you're
Oh.
thinking of though. Kind of like being hanging in the balance, just jiving with it.
That was
Um,
2022, right?
then
Yeah.
yeah, 2022.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense.
Then 2023 is card 13, Death. So that was last year. But death isn't like a physical death. It can be
No,
like
it's like
transformation or like
transforming.
really, yeah, like really entering a new phase, which I think definitely last year is kind of like you just like re-emerged for sure, like in contrast to the other years.
Mhm.
Um, and then yeah, then this year is a temperance year.
Hmm.
Do you want to know what your next year is?
Yeah.
Okay, 15. I have to. Luckily, I've
I can click on it
compiled. I
here
wrote
too.
out a bunch of these. I made my spreadsheet. So
Oh,
let me copy a few. Let me
awesome.
copy a few years really quick.
Feeling loose and free.
Hmm?
Uh, Feeling loose and free. That's what I see when I clicked on it on 5. Year 5. Change and liberation from constraints.
Mm.
Perfect. That sounds good.
Yeah.
Oh,
In the high, well,
feeling
it's so
that.
it's the next 2 years. Next year is card 15, the Devil, and the year after that is year 16, the Tower. But you know what the Devil signifies, right? It's on the Devil card. There's the devil behind them, and then the man and the woman in chains. But
Yeah.
the chains are really loose, so it's meant to be about like your addictions and the things that like hold you back. But it's like
Yeah,
you
I
could
remember talking
choose
about
like
that card.
anytime you can walk away from those, but you feel just kind of stuck by them or burdened by them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
um, yeah. Interesting. And then, what was 16? The tower?
The Tower.
I mean, that's 2026, right? Like, that's when there's
Yeah.
some crazy shit supposed to happen. And that's going to be a big, I think,
Oh,
big
really?
changes, yeah. Yeah.
Like what?
I don't know.
Well, big changes like just like the fall of the old order. Yeah,
Like,
okay. I mean, that would be a
paradise.
tower year for you.
Yeah, yeah.
Like like what?
Like, paradigm shift changes, like,
Okay.
more dramatic than what we've been seeing already. Like, maybe
Yeah.
disclosure
I mean,
that year.
yeah, it oh, there you go. Yeah, at least for you it should definitely be like that.
Okay.
That's what that card kind of implies. That'll be the theme for you that year. Ooh,
Wow.
okay, yeah. That's fun
Ooh.
stuff,
It
right?
is so fun. I love it. I don't know. Sometimes people get so scared talking about this stuff, but I don't know. I have hope for the future, and I'm optimistic.
Yeah, I mean it's like it is what it is. The what's interesting looking at your numbers is that that's going to be the first time the tower shows up for you.
Really?
Yeah, your number. So you started at card number 11, then you went to 12, then you started back at 4, went up to 13. And this is how it always goes. Then you started at 5 after that and went up to 14. Then you started at 6, went up to 15. So let's see, what 1, 2, 3, 24, 8 years ago. So most of this cycle ago. Like so, in 2 years you'll be at card 15 again, and then 10 years before that would have been the first time that you saw card 15. Because before that, the cycle before that one, the 9 or 10 year cycle before that one ends on card 14 for you. So each time, like you lose the lowest card and you get the next
Oh,
highest card.
wow.
So things kind of like shift, but then you go through like you run through the old ones again for a little while, for a few cycles.
I want this
Um,
book.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh, that's so
Maybe I'll
cute.
send you a copy.
I just buy it.
Yeah, or you could just buy it.
Oh my god.
So yeah, it's neat. So yeah, you'll go through a tower year the first time, and then you'll run through most of um most of the cards in the last cycle. And then you'll get to the tower year again. You'll be like, okay, I saw that, and then you'll get to experience the card 17 year for the first time. But that's like 12 years from now, so it's
Mm.
yeah.
Wow, the system is really neat. Oh wow, that's so cool. I
Hmm.
love it. Huh. And just tarot. That's so fun. Speaking of
Yeah, what was this
tarot.
one? The archetypal tarot. Well, I mean, plus numerology, right? So
Mm-hmm.
it's but I mean, it's just all ratios and cycles again, right? Like the
Yeah.
rest of astrology.
Uh-huh. How much time do you have left?
Mm, a bit. I actually have a. Mm, when do I need? I need to get off for sure, like an hour from now. Um,
Oh.
but I just sense that like if we give us another hour, then we're gonna want to take two. So it's like let's pick like one more thing to focus on, and then we can save it for the next time. This is like even though we discussed this stuff this time. I get the feeling we're gonna discuss it like the next 3 times.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes. Um, all right, should I do my surprise now to wrap up, or like you want to just focus on one more thing here and then I'll do my thing?
We can keep chatting about astrology and horoscopes for a bit longer, and
Oh.
then right at the end
Yeah, my thing's
we
quick.
can
So,
yeah, we'll do it at the end.
um,
Do we finish talking about your 4 signs? You have Sun in Capricorn,
yeah, I told you
Moon
all
in
mine,
Taurus,
but we don't know all yours yet.
Moon ascendant. We didn't talk about your
We,
Mercury in Sagittarius, but yeah, so you've got
oh,
Mercury in Sagittarius too, along with like a
yeah,
bajillion
should I read about
others.
that? Yeah, I got a lot of planets in
Yeah.
Sagittarius. We got five.
Yeah, read about Mercury in Sagittarius because I also have Mercury in Sagittarius, so
Oh,
that
I
can
did
be our
that.
transition.
Love it. All right, sweet. So, people with Mercury in Sagittarius love traveling. It is possible to
Mm,
make them It is possible to make them sit at home and play a game of chess, but only for a brief period of time. It may seem that there is a fire behind them that is forcing them to act fast. Mercury affects fiery signs by creating lively imps who are interested in
mm,
anything that attracts their attention. They are great people to spend life with. This position combines intelligence and an ideal because this position combines intelligence and an ideal because their soul is focused in one direction on one goal. These people are likely to teach foreign languages and to study abroad. They have a talent for languages. They have philosophical principles and religious tendencies. Mercury in Sagittarius creates foreign correspondents, journalists, and authors of adventure novels or travelogues. These people often study medicine or law. And what house is that for
mm.
you?
Fourth house.
Oh, mine's the fifth house.
Mm-hmm.
Represents creativity and children.
Fourth house does?
Fifth house. I don't know about fourth house.
Fifth house.
I'll have to look at.
Okay, yeah.
I'll have to look at yours.
The fifth house was is it said creativity and children.
Yeah, should I read the thing? There's more.
Yeah, I read it as like pleasurable aspects of life or like enjoying things, like enjoyment.
All right, let me read the whole thing. Because that might not be what I read was maybe wrong. Mercury in the
Mm,
fifth house represents a connection with the house of creativity and children. This position usually
mm.
means artistic and creative talents and good ability to express thoughts orally. These people have the ability to express themselves dramatically and powerfully, and they are talented teachers and actors. They are mentally competitive and require mental activity. Mercury in the fifth house also indicates business activities and investments. It creates a character that may have a critical and analytical attitude towards personal relationships and life.
Okay, yeah. Like yeah, the communication thing. I always wonder about like the travel aspect of that. Um,
Yeah.
because it's like I don't know, have you traveled a lot?
I want to.
You like the idea of traveling though. Yeah, you want
Yeah.
to. Okay. Okay.
I want to
Maybe
so
that's it.
bad.
Like you're a traveler at heart, you kind of seek travel. Okay.
Yeah.
I've traveled a lot, but I do actually kind of like putting down roots a little bit more and like having been like pushed away from doing that as much by like I feel like I traveled a lot, but not because I chose to travel. It was
Mm-hmm.
always it's because my dad used to be in the Air Force.
I
Um,
was wondering
and
about.
so we ended up
Yeah.
traveling a bunch. And even after he left, like his dad was in the army, so as a kid he traveled a lot. So
Yeah. Wow.
we just kind of moved around a lot. But
Mm-hmm.
like for when I was younger, like I didn't like bouncing around so much.
Yeah.
I resisted it a lot. So it's interesting.
Mm.
So like the Mercury and Sagittarius, like it kind of hints at that, but the likes to travel. I think at the end of the day, I am well suited towards it, but I really disliked it a lot of the earlier stuff, even though like it had a positive impact on my life overall.
Mm.
Um, but it was like likes traveling, so I don't know. Maybe
Mm.
that's just like another aspect to it.
Yeah.
But
Um, yeah, I was curious about that when I saw where you were born. I was like, wait. But then, like, you kind of mentioned traveling a little bit too, and when we talked.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I was an East Coaster. I was born an East Coaster. I didn't stay an
Mm.
East Coaster very long though.
Did you ever go to New England?
No.
Oh.
I so after I was born, we only stayed there for like a month or two, and because
Wow.
my dad was still in the Air Force then, and then we moved to Turkey for 2 years.
Wow. Hmm.
So yeah, it's a, and then we never went back to the East Coast. So
Wow. Yeah. Do you wanna do you wanna see what the fourth house says for your Mercury placement?
yeah. Tell me what, yeah. Although I think for both of us, like Mercury and Sagittarius might also like the communication aspect of that, um, might also be associated with like our interest in community a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, go ahead, read it about Mercury in the fourth house, Sagittarius in the fourth house.
I was gonna say too. It feels like it says, it may seem like there's a fire behind them that's forcing them to act fast. That's kind of how I feel like
Mm,
about telling people about how important community is. But
yeah,
I guess that's with a
yeah.
lot of things. All right.
Mm,
Mercury in the fourth house represents mental activity and education in connection with the person's home. Parents of these people could have a good education or could put emphasis on education. It can also mean
mm-hmm,
frequently
mm-hmm.
changing conditions in their home. These people are irritable and they find it hard to relax.
Yeah, a little.
But also frequently changing conditions.
Yeah,
Like, wow.
yeah.
Wow. Do you notice that like now, or is it more just relevant when you were a kid, moving around
A
and
bit
stuff?
less now.
Yeah, a bit less.
Yeah, a bit, a
Mm.
bit less now.
Okay.
Like, what was it? After I've been in the same area for like the last a little over 10 years, like 13 years or so. But during that time, I went to college in one city. I studied abroad in Scotland.
Mm-hmm.
I moved back in with my parents for a few years, and then I've been living in my own condo for the last 5 years. So I've been in the same general area, which is more than it was earlier in my life. Before that, I probably didn't spend more than like 5 years in the same general area until I was like mm, until I was like third until I was like 14. Like it was like 5 years was the longest, and it was more like 2 or 3 bouncing around. So I guess yeah, now I've been in like the same general area, but it's like what exact spot or like what home I've been in has still been changing. So it's slowing down, like I stick around in a spot for like 5 or 6 years, but then it seems like yeah, keep going.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was gonna say too. Like I grew up like very stable, like always living. I lived in the same home, in the same town, like my whole experience, like growing up. But oh, I don't know why you see that. um,
Hmm.
but like as I became an adult, I I moved a lot of times. I moved around like quite a bit since
Hmm.
growing up. So I don't know if that like this doesn't really say anything about that, but I don't know. I guess I kind of had like not the opposite experience of you, but like
Yeah.
I went from very oops, sorry, very consistent like one place to like moving around a lot.
Hmm. Yeah. Okay, so I'll tell you my first four first four placements.
Yes, please. Yes. Okay.
Um, although although it's a little more one note than yours. So I've got my sun in Sagittarius, my moon in Sagittarius, Leo rising, we talked about that already, and Mercury in Sagittarius.
Wow. I got Sagittarius
Um,
envy over here.
yeah, big and those are all in the fourth house, so it's big fourth house Sagittarius themes, I guess.
Wow.
Um, yeah, you want to talk about the other ones? What's we'll just go in planetary order, I guess. Where's Mars for you?
Mars is Scorpio for me, which is, I hear,
Oh, Mars.
problematic.
I don't know. It's what's Scorpio? More like the
Scor-
hidden,
Scorpio?
deep, transformative, that kind of stuff. Do you have
Yeah.
a do you have Pluto in Scorpio also?
Yeah.
I have Pluto in Scorpio.
Oh, well,
That's
Pluto
kind
is
of
one
funny.
that changes every 30 years, I think. So
You're right. You're right. Yeah, yeah,
it
yeah.
changes signs. Yeah.
So I guess yeah, unless we were like drastically different generations, or if it was on like the cusp or something, then yeah, you're right. We
We're
ought
the
to both have.
Pluto generation of Scorpio. Scorpio
Yeah.
generation of Pluto, yeah.
Hmm. That's also like a very intense combo.
The Scorpio?
Yeah, and Pluto, because Pluto is also like a little bit of the, like that transformative, deep, like
Mm,
the hidden, because it's Pluto and Hades, right? Like the
yeah.
power, power games, polarity, that kind of thing seems like very Pluto.
Yeah.
Um, and since Scorpio, it's like, dang,
Let's read about that. Like, let's read the Pluto, Scorpio, and Pluto in Scorpio.
yeah.
Um, People with Pluto and Scorpio have a passionate desire for mystery. They like to use intrigue, and they have a great disposition for personal transformation. So I feel
Mm.
like we're all in this huge path that can happen, especially through their desires. They are prolific, universal, and capable. They radiate occult powers. Their sexuality is also transforming for them. But at the same time,
I'm not catching some of what you're saying. You're speaking too low or too high. Say it again. I can't hear you all of a sudden. What happened? What's going on? Is my phone dying? No. You said something about exactly this, didn't you? That's silly. 1 second. My other earbud, did this one die? Oh, oh, the sound's all chirpy. Okay, okay, job two. Oh man. Oh, you froze on Discord a little bit. I don't know if you can still hear me. Can you still hear me? The stream's still going? Still on stream. Are you there? Oh yeah, stream is a little chirpy. Okay, I hear it now.
okay, we're back. Sorry, everyone. Thank you
Okay,
for
there we go.
thank you for letting us know about the issue. Well, okay, I I knew there was an issue because Brendan sounded like he had his mouth is full of cotton, and I could not tell what he was saying. It sounded like this. That's what you
Oh,
sounded
okay,
like to
yeah.
me. I couldn't hear anything you were saying. but I guess I had like the mouse mic. Like I was like,
Yeah, there was like this
this thing.
background sound that was like, yeah, like like that kind of thing. It was like repeating.
What the heck?
It was weird.
All right, maybe we're not supposed to talk about these kind of things. We're like getting in trouble with the spirit realm or something.
No, no, it's just a little hidden, like as appropriate for you have to work for it, as appropriate for Pluto and Scorpio, I guess. Read it again.
Read it again. All right.
Read it again. Read
Oh
it
my god, I love it. Oh my god, Brandon, you're my best friend.
again.
Oh my god. Okay. Where are we? Let's go. So we're reading Pluto and Scorpio.
Yeah.
I think I finished reading it though.
I didn't hear like half of it though.
Oh, okay. All right, let's go again.
Or
So,
maybe there was just maybe you were about to finish and I just didn't hear the last part. I don't know.
yeah. People with Pluto and Scorpio have a passionate desire for mystery. They like to use
Hmm.
intrigue and they have a great disposition for personal transformation that can happen especially through their desires. Excuse me. They are prolific, universal, and capable. They radiate
Hmm.
occult powers. Their sexuality is also transforming for them, but at the same time, they can feel restricted by it.
Hmm.
I resonate with
Oh,
that
was that
a lot.
okay? Yeah, I just didn't hear like the last bit of the last sentence.
Mm,
Hmm.
this is a G rated stream. Not allowed. Wow, so.
Okay. Yeah, that's interesting. So you've got that's in your fourth house. Hmm.
Mm hmm.
But you've also got Mars and Scorpio in your fourth house. What's what comes after Mars? Venus. Where's Venus for you?
Venus is
Also Sagittarius, fifth house.
Sagittarius, yeah. Fifth house.
Yeah. What do we have? I think I think the planets go Mercury. Is it Mercury then Venus? Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars. What's after
Jupiter.
Mars?
Jupiter?
Jupiter, Saturn.
Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, Pluto.
Okay, where's your Jupiter?
Aquarius. That's my.
Aquarius in the seventh house. Okay.
What does Jupiter do? Symbolizes growth, expansion, laws, faith, and ethics. Oh, what? It represents a sense for development and support, which can lead to opportunities, wealth, and faith. However, if Jupiter is damaged, the person becomes immoral and extremist. What does that mean if Jupiter is damaged?
I don't know. That's kind of a weird way to put it. Or I guess if it's like in more of like a malign part of your chart or right oriented, because there's the aspects that planets make to each other also in addition to their placements. So I guess if it's in like a challenging placement for you.
Hmm. This planet will bring happiness in marriage or partnership. These people are friendly, charitable, and
In
fair.
yeah, in seventh house because that's supposed to be like the
Oh.
house of I think yeah like partnership or right. It's I guess the first six houses have a certain theme, and then the next six houses, the ones that are each opposite of each other, the higher numbers have like like they kind of build on it, or it's like a more extreme version, um, like an additional representation of like a building on the theme. So like one is about the self, and then seven is about I guess like
Mm.
connection,
Hmm.
something like that.
Okay. Um, so if people want to perceive life as democratically and openly as possible. Yeah, that totally resonates for me a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Was your Jupiter in?
Taurus.
Oh, Timmy dinner time.
Oh, did I think do you have an alarm right now?
Yeah.
I have a 3 o'clock alarm. Oh.
Oh, that's crazy. Yeah, it's Timmy's dinner time at 6 o'clock, or
Mm,
by 6 o'clock. If I didn't remember, that's my reminder to do it.
okay.
Mm.
Did you remember?
No, I haven't moved from this chair.
Is
So
that why he came around like 15 minutes ago? He's like, hey, just checking in.
yeah, probably. But he's pretty not like he'll just
Timmy's so chill.
he's so chill. He'll just like nibble on some treats or something if I don't have it like ready
Mm,
in time at the right time. So
mm.
he's super chill.
Yeah, I've got Jupiter and Taurus though. I guess we can each planet we can just say what each one is.
Yeah.
So my Mars is in Aries in the eighth house.
Oh, I want to read about that.
Yeah, yeah, read about that one. That's
Because
gotta be a crazy combo.
Aries, yeah, is a really strong side and it's all fire too, right? Mars is
Well,
very.
it's also Mars's house, so it's
Oh, yeah,
in
yeah,
its spot. Mars is like in its house in or in its what place of comfort or whatever it is, or
yeah.
sign of exaltation, whatever it is.
Um, do you know that like in Sailor Moon, like the show, all of the characters, all
Hmm.
the Sailor Scouts, their birthdays are in the like placement of like the planet that they represent.
Yeah, yeah, like
Like
the sun would be
Mars,
in.
Mars is in Aries. Um,
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, yeah.
Usagi is a Cancer. She's the moon, Sailor
Oh,
Moon.
yeah.
Yeah,
Hmm.
so it's like that.
That's cool.
Yeah, I loved that about Sailor Moon. So cool. And
Hmm.
all of the bad guys are named after like crystals, like Queen Beryl, and like well, not all of them.
Oh,
Like a
yeah.
lot of them are. Yeah, like
But they have like that kind
Nephilim.
of theme going.
Yeah, yeah,
Mm.
Nephilim, Zoisite, Jedi, all those bad guys. Oh yeah. So Mars and Aries, very happy in fire signs, and likes to show how strong it is. Mars and Aries exhibits the best and the worst of the desire for self realize. Wait, why was I gonna read self sabotage? No, it's self realization. I don't know why I was gonna read it that way.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that says something. I don't know. These people have a
Mm,
huge but unmanageable supply of energy that needs to be controlled and directed. If these people do not have any introvert character features, then they are probably not troubled by things that trouble most other people. This lets them continue with things without being disrupted by different pros and cons. Their practical approach and unrestrained style are so simple and straightforward that finer details and tendencies may escape their attention. They are full of energy
mm.
and they can deal with challenges that life brings, or they just do not care. Courage and initiative are on the list of their positive qualities, but unfortunately, love and patience are not among them. The aggressive or even militant nature of Mars and Aries can make these people very hungry for sex. They are full of sexual vitality, and females are attracted to militant, masculine, and violent men.
That's a
What?
little reductive, but sure.
What the hell? Do
Anything?
you. Yeah, do you resonate with that? What they're saying about you?
There's there's aspects to all that. That's a lot of that stuff is one aspect.
Oh.
What was the thing about the introverted characteristics though? I do have a bunch of introverted
Yeah,
characteristics, so.
yeah. It said if these people do not have any introvert character features, then they are probably not troubled by things that trouble most other people. Because they're so strong
Mm.
that, like, things don't bother them. Because, but if they're introverted, then you're more sensitive, right? And maybe things will.
Yeah, so yeah, there I guess there's a little bit more of a balance there for
Mm-hmm.
me. So, but like yeah, when I am like on the metaphorical warpath, it's like if something is like not gonna get in my way, then it's like yeah, whatever, that doesn't matter right now.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Very interesting. And what is.
Okay, what was the next one? Jupiter, did you read about Jupiter, your Jupiter in seventh house Aquarius, right?
I don't know if I
What's
read that one. Oh, yeah, I did. Yeah, I did. Your Jupiter is
yeah,
Taurus.
yeah, Taurus in I think mine is in the 10th house.
10th house. What's this R over here? There's like an R next to some of yours. Oh, the 10th house. 10th and 11th for me. I don't know. I don't know what that is. Alright, so your Jupiter. People with Jupiter in Taurus believe in the importance of financial security. Taurus, yes, very much about that. Um, and social status and the comfort these values provide. To a greater or lesser extent, they are capable of attracting wealth in some way. Jupiter in Taurus brings the question of what to do with money. Growth through stabilization means that the improvement of material conditions is closely related to the understanding that stability is a natural state and it is maintained by allowing resources to flow in as well as out. If people with Jupiter in Taurus understand this wisdom, they will likely find themselves in a managerial position or they will become asset managers or someone who is responsible for the growth of somebody's assets.
I don't know about the I mean, I manage that stuff for myself pretty well. And like definitely like when like I moved on to do like different stuff this year because I felt like I built up enough of like a buffer, like more than enough. So it's I've definitely done that a couple times in life. So yeah, I guess
Hmm.
it feels like a strength overall, that
Yeah.
kind of thing.
Nice. Yeah, I like Taurus. Can we read about my Taurus moon? Cause
Yeah.
okay. Um, your safety depends on stability, which is not easy to satisfy. You may have a practical nature dependent on the material aspects of life. You have to learn to accept change as part of your life, otherwise, complications can occur. Change is caused by other people that you love, illness, and so on. I have to click to open up more. The basic problem is finding your own self respect in order to ensure that you do not mistakenly seek it in material things. When you accept yourself for who you are, it will become easier for you to find peace and tranquility of the outside world. Your advantage is the ability to perceive yourself and your body and to satisfy your own needs as well as the needs of others.
Hmm. Hmm. I
Yeah.
can what do you does that resonate with you?
It does, yeah. Yeah, this like you said, like the moon is one of the major like things that you end up looking up. So I've kind of read this before, and yeah, I feel like and like moon represents your emotions and how you deal with emotions, right? Or like how emotions
Hmm.
are affected. And yeah, I feel like stability is definitely like really important for me. I mean, it's kind of like to me like basically makes sense because if you're feeling insecure, you can't feel safe. You can't feel like it's literally what it is. So
Yeah. Yes, I hmm
feels like basic for me.
Yeah. I guess that is like the 10th house, like financial stability and social stability, right?
Yeah.
Hmm.
Um, and what about Moon in Sagittarius? I'm curious about that. They give you, actually, if you click on it, it gives you a pretty cool picture, like a little image. Did you click on that and see
Yeah,
it?
where are you clicking it? Is it just I didn't scroll down before, so I think I
Yeah,
just
so,
found the
so if you just click on
yeah.
Moon, it brings you to it. And then it
Oh,
doesn't
really?
give the whole description there. You have to click more, and then it opens up a new page. So yours,
Oh, I see on the side. Okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I see it now.
you got like a rainbow painting, like hippie guy. This says
Yeah.
the greatest need is to always search for something. In order to feel safe, you need a philosophy or belief. You need to have
Hmm.
a
Hmm.
goal or mission that gives your life meaning. Your faith
Yeah.
must be voluntary, and it is a paradox that fighting against dogmas may lead you to other dogmas. You also need activity, whether it is traveling or sports. Your love for horses, dogs, and other animals is also important. You have an optimistic approach to life, and you believe that things will get better even if you get into trouble. You might have the nature of a gambler, and you have the need to take risks when you want to achieve something. Your innate spontaneity and openness is very refreshing for people around you. You may be full of optimism in the company of others, but when you are alone, you may sometimes feel emptiness.
Hmm. Yeah. A lot of that stuff resonates. What's interesting is that like a lot of that is like need for change compared to like the Jupiter in 10th house stuff, which is like the social stability, and I feel like more like figuring out how to like manage assets and be more like consistent or stable. I feel like is a balance that I have to manage a lot. And if you look on my chart, I think Jupiter and the Moon are in opposition to each other in their
Mm.
placements. You see them? They're on opposite sides.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah. So do you like stick with something and like just make the easy bucks, or do you like follow like where your faith points you and jump around when you need to and like take some risks? Which one is it? Risk or stability, right?
Yeah. Oh, so oppositions are important, huh? Like, I got a couple of red lines in mine too that are like opposing. Is it like my moon and
Yeah.
Mars? Or my
Oh
nodes.
yeah.
Those are my nodes, I think.
Yeah. Is that
Oh, what is?
is that just North Node?
Yeah, but you don't have a red line there, so maybe it's something else. Maybe
Oh, I
it's
don't.
the
Maybe
Mars and Moon.
maybe they're just
Uh, my Mars and Moon. Maybe it's talking about my Mercury and Moon also. I don't know. Because you see the two red lines like right next to each other, right?
oh no, I think that's yeah, Moon and Node. Since they're almost in the same spot, it's your I think it's that your Moon is in opposition to both of them.
Huh? Really?
And the nodes are always opposite each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's talk about nodes. Wait, is nodes is that the same as your north? Is it north node, south node? Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, that's what
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
thinking.
yeah.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
north
so you've
node.
got yeah,
Yeah, so the north node is what brings up lunar nodes, north and south. Uh, my north node is Taurus. That means my south node is Scorpio. So the nodes are like what you're meant to learn in this lifetime, right? Or what you're meant to
Yeah,
like. Let's just read it.
yeah, it's like life direction stuff, isn't it? And like the north
Yeah.
one is like pointing this one in like moving forward, like what you're moving forward into, and the south node is like what you were coming out of,
Yes. Yeah. Yours
which is
is.
interesting because you've got your moon in opposition to south node.
Hmm. Yeah, I wonder if I can read about that. Oh yeah, it says it here. Oh, yeah. Wow, it brings up all these things I can read about. That's so cool. All the aspects.
Hmm.
Opposition Mars. Opposition Pluto. Is that right? Oh, this is like it just makes it so easy to read about.
Hmm.
Brings
Oh
up.
yeah, your south node and Pluto are stacked like right on top of each other, actually, aren't they?
Yeah. Well, yeah. I got to we got to read more about this sometime. Definitely.
Hmm.
You want to come back to this and like wrap up?
Yeah, we'll come back to it some other
We're
time
gonna come back. Yeah, this is big. This
because
is
yeah,
a
we could keep going for like another 2 hours, couldn't we?
yeah. There's a lot going on. So, all right. Well, I have a little surprise, kind of like, and this is also thanks to Jebs. He asked me. Well, no, he didn't ask me. Well, last month, Jebs asked me to pull cards for the month for June. So,
Ooh,
so today I'm going to pull cards for July from the same deck. This
yeah,
is
because it's July 1st, huh?
yeah. So this is
Happy July.
Happy July, and this is one of my favorite decks right now. It's the Golden
Hmm.
Future Oracle. I might have shown you this. I think I gave you this as an option when I did your reading, but we ended up doing
Yeah.
a different deck. So let's see, what is our intention for July? What is our focus?
I don't know about you, but like the stuff on my mind is all like putting a cap on certain things, like wrapping some things up so that I can like get it like a clean slate, starting like the next things I want to do for like the second half of the year. So
Mm.
it's I guess that could be a very July theme, huh? Because
Yeah.
June ends the first half of the year really. So like
Hmm.
we just started the second half of the year.
Yeah, that's true. All right, I feel like yeah, I feel like it's this card. Just gonna go with one card this time. Oh, I haven't seen this card yet. Wow, this is beautiful. I love this card.
You have to show us. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Group
Group
consciousness.
consciousness, embrace
Group think
oneness.
time. Group think time.
It's beautiful. And look, wow, it like lines up with the light. Well, I just made it. All right. Well, let's read about this card. Wow, that's beautiful. I really like this deck. Uh, really fun. Talks about how like what we're moving into, and I feel like this deck
Hmm.
inspires me a lot. And
Oh yeah.
what I idealize, I think, for the future.
Hmm.
All right. So this, like, when it explains, it kind of talks about like what this is talking about, how things are going to change in the future, and how we will be in the future. So in the golden future, we will understand oneness as they did in Lemuria. The beings of that golden age had a group consciousness. They were all tuned in to one another and acted for the highest good of all. Migrating birds move as one, and they learned this in Lemuria. It is a very advanced state of being and will be possible for all when the navel chakras of humanity are fully awake. When the population lives as one, unimaginable blessings accrue. As an individual, you feel totally supported and experience pure happiness and joy. You are in the flow of the universe and can powerfully create with others for the benefit of the whole world. Then advanced spiritual technology beyond anything that was developed in the golden era of Atlantis will be downloaded to our world. And there's an affirmation and says, when we live in oneness, life becomes the most wonderful and beautiful experience for everyone. And then there's another page. This is the guidance. Receiving this card suggests it is time to embrace oneness in your daily life. To do this, develop your navel chakra, where community, love, and togetherness are held. Practice tuning in to the auric fields and feelings of others. Then visualize your glorious magenta soul star chakra opening and expanding like a magnificent flower, so that you attune to all at a soul level. Practice connecting with others to take decisions for everyone's benefit. Master Marco, a high priest in Atlantis, represents the highest galactic confederation in their solar system, the capital of which is on Saturn. This is overseen by the Council of Nine, an advanced group consciousness that is the ultimate example of oneness. Here, Master Marco holds the technological information of all the universes within a vast, unbelievably high frequency quartz crystal skull. Send a ray of light from your soul star to Master Marco's crystal skull and prepare to accept downloads of cosmic information that will illuminate your journey.
Wow, that's a lot.
Yeah. It made me remember like what you said about star states being just like way outside of your like consideration.
Yeah,
And like this is like oh yeah, it's a lot.
yeah, yeah. I guess
Very
that makes sense.
mystical.
It is sort of like saying like, yeah, reach out and into like those higher levels a little bit, get a download. It's like, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, it's telling you to expand, well, not just you, everyone, but maybe you in
Mm,
particular, this message, like to expand your, um, hmm, openness to,
yeah, I think
maybe you
it's
don't have to fully understand it. Maybe you can just like welcome in the concept and see how that takes hold.
yeah, yeah, or yeah, rely on the group a little bit more. So I don't know if man, maybe I didn't mention this to you at all yet. In There's this thing that's been on my mind for a while, organizing for my fencing class since
Mm.
it's getting, a little bit bigger. I've always had kind of this dream or this intention of having like a big barbecue with everyone. So this year I'm
Oh.
actually organizing it.
Oh.
So on July 21st, we're having a big class barbecue, and I wanted to make it like a huge, like as big as possible, right? So I'm actually inviting a lot of other people, like not from my fencing class, who I know, and saying it's like bring people who might be interested in fencing or who want to like see that a little bit, or just anyone you want to hang out with. So I'm trying to make it into this huge thing,
Mm.
um, which like I'm not like super intimidated by organizing something like that I haven't done before. It's like, like bare bones, like the structure of it, I can just kind of figure that out and the rest of it will work itself out. But there is like this part of my mind going, it's like I shouldn't really like try to pull this off just like all on my own. Like I'm gonna need
Yeah.
like part of doing it is gonna be accepting that I need like some help and some volunteers, and like I've not tried to rely on other people to that extent before. And it's not a skill I've developed as much, right? Like that level of delegation. So I guess this is like what I'm hearing from this card for myself is like just kind of be open to like the inspiration I need for how to incorporate that level of community, like receiving the help myself also. to help organize everyone so we can all have a good time. Because that's already kind of the direction things are going for later this month for me. Definitely, like big time. Like
Yeah.
the community group consciousness. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm glad you mentioned that too because it made me think of like maybe that's something I need to work on in myself too. Like not trying to like do everything myself. Like with the podcast, I've been like hammering away trying to get everything done myself. Like I've asked for help from some people, but like and not really just about the podcast, but like with other things I could like I don't know take more of like a community approach if I want to make something happen in the community. You know.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like the card is kind of suggesting this month like there's like be open to like letting other people in, I guess, a little bit, or just like yeah, really try to like consciously include them. And it's like it's okay to not know how to do that yet. It's like just be open to the inspiration and the signs to let you know how to go down that path.
Mm-hmm.
Mm,
Yeah. Wow, that's a great card. Great pull.
yeah,
Ah,
that's a that's an
appreciate
auspicious
it.
card for July. I like that.
Absolutely. And it's so pretty. I was telling you, I really like the texture of these cards. They're like so like shiny and nice and smooth. So I'll put
Hmm.
this out on my altar and I'll leave it out for the month to
Yay,
as a
yeah.
reminder.
What was
Yeah.
the card for what was the card for last month?
Actually, I ended up pulling three cards for last month. I can't remember why.
Oh wow.
If they just all popped out or I think they all popped out together.
Oh yeah.
It was a big thing.
Yeah, or just elaboration. Yeah.
Yeah. One of them was like Children of the Future. Another one was Community Markets. And then I can't remember what the other one was. Jeez. I didn't look at them like
Yeah.
all month, but just a little bit.
That thing about like the council and higher wisdom and the crystal skull and Saturn, that's I don't think I'm gonna take that super literally, but there's definitely some themes there for like reach out to like don't be afraid to like reach out to like a higher authority or like another like an authority figure or like someone more experienced. Like don't be afraid to tap into another source of experience to like get that download. I'm gonna like
Yeah.
carry that with me for the next week or so. Kind of think about that.
Nice. Yeah, that works too.
Mm,
Cool. That was fun. Thanks for streaming with me.
yeah, thanks for hosting me. Thanks for doing the pod. That was fun.
Yeah, thank you too. And you're gonna have to watch part two when you get a chance now.
Yeah,
Thank you,
maybe this
Wuggy.
evening after I go to fencing.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks, Wuggy. It was fun.
Yeah, thanks for
What
hanging
yeah,
out.
what who's all still in chat? Maybe there's a couple Wuggy and Switches still in chat. You guys enjoy this? What do you think before we
Yeah,
wrap
what'd
up?
you guys think? What'd you guys like the card? This is all of our cards for July. I'm gonna send a picture in the Discord too, so you guys can all see it. Um, but I was gonna say, yeah, and don't forget everyone to go check out the podcast episodes. Brendan's face is all over YouTube now.
Oh my goodness.
It's cool. I was gonna ask you, like, how does that feel? Interesting. Thanks,
Oh,
Monkey.
I feel it feels like a very Mars and Aries thing. It's like it is it's a thing. Okay.
I love it.
It happened. It's gonna keep happening. Okay. I don't know. I don't feel one way or another about it. It's yeah.
You know, for me with the podcast, oh, thank you, Sleepy. I've noticed. Oh, this is another thing I noticed when I was high is that like, I need to keep. I started noticing that I need to affirm to myself, I am ready for my life to change. because
Mm-hmm.
that's like, if I have to admit, like, that's part of the reason why I'm doing this. I'm doing it because I want my life to change somehow. And I really feel like this podcast is gonna open lots of doors for me somehow. I don't know.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah,
I'm just
yeah.
gonna go
Step
with it though.
into that leadership role.
Oh yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I'm like so comfortable like, yeah, like claiming that, but
Yeah,
it's
that's the point, right? That's
just
the
like you
change,
said.
isn't it?
Yeah, it's true. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Wow. Yeah, that's the moon in Taurus too. Like,
I think it is. Yeah, yeah. To
wow.
be ready for positive changes, I guess.
Yeah. Yep. All right. So, well, you have to
All right.
go.
Well, I guess
Go to.
this is a good place to end. So
Yeah.
yeah, 3:30. I'm gonna head out. Are you gonna keep doing the stream?
No,
You got some people calling you. Everyone sound off. Sound off
Oh,
if you want Kimomu to keep doing the stream.
Jim's crying. No, I'm tired, so I'm gonna. We have to say bye together. It's just that's just the way it's gonna be. Sorry, everyone. It's been a long 6 months trying to get this podcast all set and aired, and I'm
Yeah.
really happy that it's happened. Like, this is the day now. Like, I want to say I can take a break, but I don't feel like I can take a break because I still have a lot of work to do. But
Yeah.
today, right now, when we get off this call, I'm gonna take a break and I'm gonna go to sleep.
Yeah. Yeah. That was me last week after I finished sending all the email invites for my fencing barbecue. It's like, okay, finally did that. Now I can take a break for like a day and a half, then I'll do Kimomo's thing. And then yeah, starting from like next week, there's gonna be just like a million things until like September.
Oh boy.
Anyway,
Yeah.
don't have to think about that for like 4 more days, so I'm not gonna.
Yeah, and also you don't have to work, so just think about that.
Oh, yeah, sure. Yeah, I didn't like make a ton of extra working commitments for myself. Yeah, definitely not. I haven't like pre-booked myself for like the next 10 weeks. Definitely
Oh
not.
my god. All right. Well, thanks, Brendan. I think I'm just gonna end. Probably not gonna raid anyone. So,
Wait. And I mean, do you really not want to? That's fine.
you have an
But
idea?
can I make a recommendation?
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw. So there's
Timmy,
you know,
stop! So
perfect.
rude. You just knocked this on the floor. Oh, Timmy. It's not
Let's
treats.
just Okay, this is so perfect in terms of like being productive and co-working, but taking breaks and all this stuff. There's a co-working streamer I really like.
Oh, all
Here,
right.
I'll type. Yeah, I typed it in chat for you. If you want to take a little preview, usually, so she's on the East Coast too, and usually she does like a morning stream to like 5 p.m. Eastern time. So like 2 p.m. for me, and it's mostly like co-working, co-working and a little chatting.
Cool.
Um, but she started doing some gaming streams, so I just saw out of the corner of my eye that she came online playing Baldur's Gate. So if you want to go over there and hang out for a little bit,
All right.
that's usually like a fun chill stream.
Yeah, you guys want to go chill? Go have fun and chill? All right.
Yeah, yeah.
I'll try it.
Everyone use your channel points to unlock Kimomo Timmy, a Timmy emote, and we'll cheer Timmy's.
Oh, yeah. Thank you, Brendan. You're always so good at remembering that stuff.
Don't worry if you're not a sub. I'm not a sub to Kimomo either, which is really weird actually. Um, just use the channel point reward.
Oh, Timmy really needs dinner. Okay, we're gonna raid and I'm gonna go get Timmy dinner. And myself probably dinner too.
Okay.
So,
You guys got like 10 seconds. 10 seconds to unlock the Timmy emotes.
yeah,
And we'll
unlock the
spam it. Or
Timmy
cat
emote
emotes.
before I set up this raid.
If you don't get there in time,
Thank you, Brendan. Oh, you're co-streamer. Thank you.
Yeah.
You're the
Do
best.
smirk
Oops,
cat.
now I copied
Spam
the
it.
wrong
Do
thing.
like 10, 5 or 10.
Yeah, do a smart
Okay.
cat. Yeah, cute. Copy raid. Okay, we're raiding. Let's go.
We're raiding.
This channel has follower or subscriber only chat.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But
I guess I'm a follower, so I didn't know that.
well, if she takes raids, then she'll appreciate it anyway, right? And we can just
Yeah.
follow if we want to chat, and if we don't want to chat, you don't have to follow. But you can always lurk and just see what's up. Alright, thank you guys. Here you go in the raid. Bye
Right.
bye. Say bye, Brendan.
Bye,
Bye
bye everyone.
bye. Thank you.
Watch the other episode.
Yeah,
Watch,
don't forget.
watch the podcast. Where's your podcast? Is it just on YouTube?
Just on YouTube right now, but it's also gonna be on Rumble. Maybe like
Okay.
maybe tomorrow, if I feel like it.
Okay.
It was
Okay.
just so
So
much.
find it on your find it on your favorite video streaming platform. That's YouTube or Rumble. Got it.
Yeah. Goodbye, guys. Have fun on the raid.
Bye, bye,
Bye
Wuggy. Bye,
bye.
everyone.
Bye, Wuggy. Thank you. Alright, now I need to end stream.